Happy Sunday, everybody. We have a lot to talk about, so grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something very comfy. Smash that like on your way in. Smash it again, but then you might have to smash it again because then you might unlike it. Well, just like it once, all right? And let's get this party started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian, pop culture vulture, Minnesotan, and regular lady person, Joleen Lunzer here to talk about what's going on in the world. Today, we're going to be doing another update about what's really going on in Minnesota, my home state, as the news is so cuckoo crazy and all over the place, and who knows who's a bot and what's really going on. I have curated this space and some news items and clips and things and real life experience to bring you guys what's actually going on. Okay. Now remember, everything I say today is true except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only.
Allegedly.
But for real, this is what's going on in Minnesota. So smash that like on your way in. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video. If you want to support the channel further, you know the drill. You can do what Jan did. Thank you, Jan Kershaw. You can become a member of the channel where you will get some exclusive bonus content. You get member emojis. Your name gets to be green in the live chat. I guess YouTube was like, that's a selling point. Huh? Okay. So thank you, Jan, so much. Welcome to the membership. Kitschy, 1359. Thank you for becoming a member. Nina F. Thank you for becoming a member. I also have a Patreon if you prefer that. You can also send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment, or you can hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. You don't have to do any of those things, but they are so there if you feel like you want to. I want to recognize a couple of Venmos I got recently. Thank you so much, Jan Kershaw, for sending me a very generous Venmo. Maddie, thank you for the generous Venmo. Michelle, thank you so much for the generous Venmo. And thank you. I also am going to include in this description ways in which, if you are far away from the situation in Minnesota, how you can help Minnesotans and their battle as they rage against the fascist machine. All right. So we're going to talk all about that. And what we also do over here is we take a comedic look. You know, we try our best to find the funny, but some things are not going to be funny and some things are going to be funny. We're going to roast some stuff up. We're going to have a good time while hopefully gaining knowledge or just insight into what's actually happening while talking a little bit of shit, because that is probably the easiest way to digest everything that is just coming at us every day. I feel like I am bombarded with information. I cannot not pay attention to what's happening in our country. And so this wonderful way of talking to you wonderful people is helpful to me. Hopefully it's helpful to you. If not, hopefully it's entertaining, you know, something. Thank you, Miami Dottie, for becoming a member. You guys, we got 4 new members already. Thank you. Good to see you guys. Also, remember, I'm very opinionated. These are going to be my opinions, but that doesn't mean you have to have the same opinion. You're welcome to sound off in our live chat or our comment section, and we can just respectfully and calmly agree to disagree, like the very calm Real Housewife of Orange County, Tamra Judge.
That's my opinion!
She is so zen. Doesn't she just relax all of you? The way she just screams at you? Doesn't she? She really does. Linda says, love the green. Love it. Also, if you're like, Jolene, what's going on with your hair? I was feeling a little nostalgic. And so I decided after getting out of the bath last night to put little braids in my hair like my mom used to when I was little before school pictures and sleep on them. And then I woke up and all of this has happened. And I just like the way it feels. So we're back to the 80s, baby. Hello, Janice. Thank you so much for becoming a member, you guys. We're over 500 members, which is amazing. Keep it up. Let's hit 1,000 members. Can we do it? All right. I also did if you're looking for something a little lighter than what's going on in the world right now, I did a little silly makeup tutorial. I get ready with me that you can watch after this. And hopefully you enjoy it. All right. Yes. Welcome. Shout out to my mods here. Shout out. Okay. So I have to give you guys the update, the tea. So as you know, I'm from Minnesota. I live in California, but born and raised, well, also spent a large portion of my adult life in Minnesota. But since then, I've lived in Arizona. I lived in California. I moved back to Minnesota, then to California. It's a whole thing. Okay. So Minnesota has my heart. Shout out to my fellow Minnesotans. And my parents still live there. My nieces, my nephews, my family, my brother, my sister-in-law. Most people I love are in Minnesota. Okay. Now, last week when I did a Minnesota stream, I gave you guys an update on my parents, aka Nan and Papa, my hippie boomer awesome parents who are out there in their retirement fighting the good fight. All right. Yesterday, Minnesota, a lot of organizations put together different groups that wanted to volunteer to peacefully protest, like sit in at their local Target or a Target near them. And Nana and Papa participated in that. And the police came and they almost got arrested.
Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
If I'm ever not here, it's because I had to fly to Minnesota to bail out my parents. So we have video of that I'm going to show you. We have video of so many things. I've put together another little video of all the things going on in Minnesota. Nana did not get arrested, be more, but she was close. Okay. And by close, I mean the police said, if you don't leave here, you will all be arrested for trespassing. Now, Minnesotans have been doing this, and a lot of us have been boycotting Target for a while. I've been boycotting Target ever since January of last year when Target decided, oh, by the way, we're faking the funk and everything we claim to stand for, we no longer stand for, and we are just going to simp for President Kinkles. And DEI, never heard of her, and then I was like, oh, okay, Target, goodbye. Because like I always say, Target is a Minnesota company. Minnesotans love Target. We rep Target so hard. We have, I think Target Field is where the Minnesota Twins play. We have the Target Center where the Minnesota Timberwolves play. Target Corporation is there. I mean, wherever I moved throughout the country or wherever I went throughout the world that had a Target, I would always go there. Every state I went to, I was like, I want to check out their Target because it made me feel like I was at home. Target was the place in cities I'd go to when I hadn't made any friends yet, or I just was feeling like I wanted to be by myself. I remember when Target would still have, before they had like Starbucks in there, they had the actual like marketplace Target. You could buy like popcorn and a Diet Coke, and I would get that super salty Target popcorn and walk around and spend money I didn't need to be spending. So thank you, Target, for being complete assholes so that I could boycott you for the last year because I've actually saved a lot of money. Not buying your shit. And I don't even barely miss you anymore, Target. And unfortunately for Target, but fortunately for us, Target is seeing that when you fake the funk and you do a complete flip, when you are a complete turncoat, that there are repercussions. When your brand claims to be one way for the entirety of its existence, and then some orange guy with bruises on his hands comes in and is like, now do it this way. And then you simp to him, which is the exact opposite of what you claim to be. That might hit your bottom line. And so Target, basically for me, I don't know how they'd ever get me back. Okay. What I feel about Target, like I'm more mad at Target than I am some ex-boyfriends. I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel more betrayed, because you're like, men, they'll fail you. But Target wasn't supposed to fail me. So those of you that are boycotting Target, more power to you. Keep it up. It's working. Okay. They've fallen from grace. And we can see, I can pull up some stuff later about how Target has fallen from grace. And it's just lovely to see, like, fuck you. It's kind of like when you go through a breakup and the guy's just a total asshole. And then you get a better boyfriend, or you lose 20 pounds right afterwards because you're only drinking Pinot Grigio and eating trail mix. And then you see him and you're like, look at me, I'm so skinny now. And then you hire a hot guy, or you find a hot guy to date, and then you're like, see, Target, see what I got now? And now my hot boyfriend is Costco, bitch.
Turn his TV off. Turn his TV
Yep,
off.
I'm putting Costco in the face of Target 24/7.
No one would want to stock that ugly bitch.
Yeah. Costco is my new Target. I don't care. I'll buy in bulk the rest of my life because Costco is the truth right now. Unless they start acting weird. And then I'll pull my money from there too, because that's really the only power we have as Americans, is to decide where we want to put our money and not support these corporations that continue to fail us. So shout out to Costco. If you want to sponsor this video, you're more than welcome. Okay, let's now get into it. If you haven't already, smash that like. And I'm going to be showing a video that I put together from different clips. You'll be able to see if I pulled it from Instagram, the creator, so you can go follow them and support them. Or if it's from a certain YouTube channel, you will see the YouTube channel, so you can follow them, subscribe to them, and support them, you guys. But I will be stopping, to kind of roast it up. And for, I don't know what I just approved on my computer, but I just approved something. And for commentary and fun, you guys, as we just try to survive the possible end of the world. Okay. So let us continue. Here, let me put this like this. No, like this. Okay, let's do it like this. All right, sound off in the live chat. All your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions. I love hearing from you guys. That's what. Oh, one thing first. Care Bear says, does anyone delete their TikTok account? I haven't logged on because I'm terrified. My husband was like, oh my God, he's not on TikTok. He's hated TikTok for a long time. But he was telling me something I can't remember because like, what's going, so many things are happening. But apparently TikTok is now like, what are they tracking? I don't know. Something's going on with TikTok and I'm terrified to even open the app. So let me know in the comments of the live chat. Do we need to be deleting our TikTokies? Which I feel so bad for creators who, that'd be like YouTube, turning into that. And then this is, where I put out the majority of my content. And now these TikTok creators are screwed over. So, oh my God, you guys, what are we? Jamie B, I know you were like, you never had that shit on. I'm terrified now. Okay, so the Canadians are safe. They don't have to change. We're still good. Wouldn't you just, I get jealous of them damn Canadians, I'll tell you, especially right now. I mean, I've kind of always been jealous of the Canadians. And I'm basically Canadian, being Minnesotan. But, I don't know if they'd accept me. I'd have to ask them. But right now, yeah, very, very jealous of the Canadians. Care Bear says, I couldn't keep it knowing they are tracking sexuality, religion. All right, I'm going to have to get rid of it. It's honestly, it's okay for me because TikTok kind of annoyed me. But I know there's so many people that love creating on that app, have built a huge audience. So it just sucks that they have to go through this with, well, I have to do a separate live about TikTok. We got to get back into the Minnesota of it all, but it all ties together in the end. But give me a thumbs up in the live chat as soon as you can hear the audio on this. Please share this out with your friends, family, and enemies. And let's go.
My closest Target is on Lake Street that burned down during the uprising. And when they rebuilt it, they put the power fist from George Floyd Square on the outside. And yet they added more cameras in the shelves with facial recognition that ICE is using on the inside. But they allow ICE inside to arrest their own workers. Which, by the way, if you are aware, in order to hire someone in the state of Minnesota for a job in a corporation, what do you have to run? Their background check. So these sport fishermen or trophy hunters are using Targets as a game reserve. And Target is allowing them to. It's a shame. And we are demanding that Target stops doing this practice. There's a turnover in Target right now. They have an opportunity to switch gears. And I don't care if it's authentic or not. I don't care if they're doing it for their stockholders. I don't care if they're doing it for PR. I don't care if their heart has not changed. I want their practices to change. I don't care what's in their heart of hearts. I care about the safety of the community, the students that we serve, the people in your church, the people that live next to us, the folks in Minnesota and in other states. Because if it doesn't stop here, it's going to go everywhere else. I care about Maine. We care about Portland. We care about Denver. We care about LA. We care about Chicago. We care about Arizona. We care about Georgia. We don't want it anywhere. Ice out everywhere. Ice out. Ice out. Ice out.
Okay, so if you want to follow this wonderful woman on the Instagram, you can follow her, Marsha Howard 38th Street. That's at Marsha. I have it right here on the screen. If you want to screenshot it, Marsha, Marcia Howard 38th Street. She puts out some fantastic content coming out of what's happening in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and obviously with this Target situation where we see Target. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised now, a year out of Target just being unrecognizable from what it once was. But it's just like, are you sure this isn't Walmart? Target was supposed to be, I feel like they marketed themselves and branded themselves to be the antithesis of Walmart. And that's kind of why, if you could, I understand like Target, the prices are higher, you would pay a little more for Target, because then, if you could do that, you felt at least it's going to less of a evil empire. And that's no shade to people, because I understand that Walmart really puts you in a predicament, because especially with families and especially with, prices and things like that, Walmart, and some areas, they just have so many Walmarts and they don't have any Targets, not even Costco's. So Walmart's really like, come on in, girl. The lighting's bad. We treat our workers like shit. But look at these low prices on the bad stuff. So no shade if you are. I'm not trying to judge you or anything. It is a fricked up system that we're in. But if you can, boycott Target. Tell these MFers, like, gross. They are allowing ICE to come in their store. They are not protecting their employees. They're not protecting their employees' Fourth Amendment rights. They are basically simping to this fascist administration and just being like, whatever. And remember, these are the same, like, Target, do you not remember? I don't know how many times I have to keep, reminding them they're not watching. But if they were, that the people that you're now marketing to are the people that got mad at you when you had gay pride stuff. Yeah. They were like, why do the gays get a month? Oh my God. Hello. Have you met a gay? Like, fun month. Why? Yes. Gay pride. There's rainbows. Even Maroon 5, and they suck. They said, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise that moves us along. Again, Target, you went after the wrong demographic, because these hoes were never shopping in your store to begin with. I talked about this last time, but they weren't. You are going after someone who's at Walmart. They think you're too expensive. They didn't like your pride stuff. They'll never forget it. They're at the Walmarts. They're at the Dollar Trees. They're not shopping with you. Okay? But somehow Target, they really think they're going to win over this group. And I see, people in the comments go, I'm going to show up at Target more. You ain't going to Target. If that's the truth, if everyone from MAGA is now over to Target, why are their numbers so bad? Why are they doing so shitty? Why do they have to turn over to a new CEO, new power? Why are they dropping from lists that they were on of like good businesses? If these people were shopping there, they'd be doing fine, but they know they did the wrong thing. But they still have yet to correct it, because they are, I don't even want to say pussies, because pussies are strong and they create life. But they are little, weak, tiny scrotums. Like, that is what's going on with Target. Pathetic, Target. Miss Chaos 1105. Thank you so much for coming in with the first super chat of the live. Miss Chaos says, much love, Jolene can't chat right now, but I'm watching. Yes, thank you so much. And the Becca coming in with the super chat. Thank you for the $4.99. Says, Jolene, thank you so much for speaking out, taking a stand and a side and not staying silent. I love you so much. I love you right back. Thank you, Becca Fly, you little cutie. So shout out to this woman, Marsha Howard, 38th Street on Instagram. If you're on the Insta, find her, follow her. You won't regret it. Let's keep going.
About Arizona. We care about Georgia. We don't want it anywhere.
Yeah, we don't want this shit. We want to protect everyone from this shit. Okay, so next is a video of my mom and dad yesterday at Target during their sit-in. Because I told you guys last time my parents have been going to Target and they've been passing out, pamphlets, paperwork regarding the Fourth Amendment and regarding Target protecting their employees. And also so Target's employees know their rights. As we have seen, the ICE goons go right into Target and arrest, tackle Americans. Like 2 young guys who were American, legal citizens, born and raised. They're tackling them to the ground. And then they're like, oh, fuck. Oh, well. And then they dropped one of them off outside of a Walmart. Like, what? So my mom and dad have been going to Targets to kind of spread this information. And now yesterday, the entire state of Minnesota, there was a group that was organizing people going to Targets throughout Minnesota to let them know that we want them to take care of their employees, because these employees are a part of the community. Okay. The community where they have their business in. And they're also, you should be able to go to work without fear of being harassed and tackled and kidnapped unlawfully when you're an American citizen, when you're just trying to do your job. I thought we were looking, what happened to, we're looking for criminals. We're looking for the unemployed, taking advantage of our system. These are people who are working and they're Americans. But you know what they have in common? They're brown. And you know what Trump hates? Brown people. Okay? Brown people.
It's not enough.
So let's watch Nan and Papa inside of the Target. Now, my dad said he thought he was filming when a cop approached him, but he wasn't. So the only video he has is the one I'm about to show you. Also, Friday was the ice out of Minnesota. Yesterday was the Target thing. Friday was the economic boycott where no one went to work, no one when people didn't go to school, and you didn't buy anything. So that's why I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't buy anything. I didn't go to school because I'm not in school. Okay. And I didn't come to YouTube because that's my work. So again, another successful little boycott that happened this past Friday. And then yesterday was the Target sit-ins. So call on Target to stand with the community and demand ice out in Minnesota, January 31st. You can go to iceout, maybe iceout.com or something.
Ice out!
So here's my dad's video.
So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to leave on your own. The people that choose not to leave the store will be arrested for trespassing. I encourage everybody to walk out the door and have a wonderful day.
So those are the police. Those are the local police came in. They got word, because it's not like it's hidden. There are organizations like when I know this is crazy because people think, people are paid protesters and everyone's paid by George Soros or something. But protesting for a long time has been organized, and groups do organize. So they have these organized groups that have websites and put out information, share on social media. So Target Corp obviously got word of this, had the popo on speed dial to come into these Targets to ask people to leave. So this wasn't ICE. This is local Minnesota police. I think this is the Woodbury police from Woodbury, Minnesota. Rude. I'm going to call them the Rudeberry police right now because it was rude. And came in and was like, you can go, little girl.
Ice out!
Trespassing. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity to leave.
The lady yelled, why didn't you ask ICE to leave? I love Minnesotans. Oh,
Leave on your own. The people that choose not to leave the store will be arrested for trespassing. I encourage everybody to walk out the door and have a wonderful day.
the lady goes, "You're on the wrong side of history, bitch."
You're despicable.
I added bitch, but I'll say you're on the wrong side of history, bitch. Okay, and these are the scary people. These are the very scary protesters with their walking sticks. We got walkers. Shout out to the boomers. Okay, shout out to the boomers. The boomers get a lot of shit. They get a lot of hate. Like, oh, the boomers are on the wrong side of history. I know so many boomers, they're on the right side of history that are still those, like, you know, equality for all, rights for everybody, hippies they were when they had long hair in the 70s. Okay, so let's ease up on the boom, because the boomers are doing the damn thing. They're out there, especially in Minnesota, my mom and dad. But look at these scary people. Oh, terrifying. Okay. These people, oh, with their walking sticks and their new hips. I know Nana's got a couple new hips herself. So I said, Nana, don't get tackled, because they are pushing down women in their 70s. ICE agents are just tackling them because, spoiler alert, they hate women. Thank you, Mad Chatter, for the 2. Says they needed to go to Menards. You save big money. You save. We'll have to get our Menards jingle on soon. Thank you so much. As you can see, the majority of these people are older Minnesotans. Minnesotans who are probably retired, hopefully, and did not expect to spend their retirement this way. I know my parents didn't. I know my aunt and uncle didn't. Most of the boomers I know who are out there still fighting, you know, the good fight, did not expect to spend their retirement this way, but here they are. So we thank them. Now, some people even brought their own stools. How kind is that? They didn't even go and take a chair from Target. They didn't stop anyone from shopping. Now, does Target have the right to kick them out? Sure. They're a private company. But the point is, they allow ICE to say they had Greg Bavino. They invited Greg Bavino in the Target. They let Greg Bavino poop in their Target, allegedly.
It's not enough.
He took a nasty deuce. Okay. This is just what I heard. We're going to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
But I know Greg Bavino he's very little. So he went on, they have a children's bathroom. He went in the children's toilet and he plugged it up. The Maple Grove Target will never be the same. If you live in Maple Grove, stay out of the Target for more reasons than just boycotting it. Greg Bavino wrecked it. Like I don't know what he's eating. He needs a clean diet. He needs to start eating like Greek food or something, because and he's one of those people, he doesn't flush and he doesn't wipe. Okay. Allegedly. That's what I heard. He doesn't wipe. He doesn't flush. He just lets it dry. He wrecked it, Ralph, the toilet. And, you know, Greg Bavino also allegedly goes and uses the family restrooms, and he doesn't have a family. Allegedly. Yeah. And he just goes on the floor. Allegedly. Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's a monster. So Target is pro Greg Bavino pooping up their stores. Allegedly. But they kick out people who just want Target to take care of their employees and fellow Minnesotans. I just love the guys. Stand up for Minnesota. Mad Chatter says, thank you so much for the 2. Says, where's Nana? Nana is near Papa. They had a group of friends that they went to this with, but my dad is the one. Papa is the one recording on his phone. You can kind of hear his voice. You guys don't really know his voice because I don't think he's ever come on my channel. But I could hear his voice just a minute ago.
Otherwise, you're stuck here.
That's not his voice.
We can manage that. You can probably.
Look at all these cuties. Good to see you. And the young ones that are there, they're just like, oh, they got their hats, they got their coffees. I mean, just so violent, so scary.
Top titty 2x4 to end the game. That was nice.
Bondi and
okay, so here are my parents. So this is after they got kicked out of the Target. They thought, you know what? Let's go protest on a bridge. let's go do that. So my cutie patootie, mom and dad, again, you guys are like, Jolene, why you like this? It's because of them. Okay.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
So there's my dad holding a free Liam, which today we'll talk about later. Liam, the 5-year-old who was taken from Minnesota. He and his dad have been returned to Minnesota after we got that horrendous, scary update where Jasmine Crockett went to go visit the ICE detention center, whatever the hell it is, down in Texas. And Liam, this once like little sweet 5-year-old, lively 5-year-old boy, was now not eating and was so lethargic. And it was, even Jasmine Crockett was like, I've never seen a 5-year-old like that. And they were saying, well, he's depressed. I'm sorry. 5-year-olds shouldn't be depressed, dumbasses. That's what happens when you kidnap children and you take them to other states away from their mothers. And apparently the food there is just garbage as well. So my dad had the free Liam sign, and my mom, Nana, over there, she has the ice out. So shout out to Nana and Papa, who were like, you know what? We haven't done enough today. Let's go to a bridge and by the time I woke up, they had already got kicked out of a Target for peacefully protesting and went to a local bridge with their fellow Minnesotans and protest again. Also went to an Office Depot or Max or whatever is now to make signs. And I had just woken up. Never have I felt like more of a loser. Also, don't tell my parents that I slept in that late, because they are like, why don't you go? You should have been out in your area.
all of these others are talking about Patel.
You're going to see a kind of a montage of my mom and dad out protesting that same day after getting kicked out of the Target, with my aunt and my uncle. Shout out to my Uncle Walt, my Aunt Janine, my cousin Nate, and my cousin Nicole. My Aunt Janine and my cousin Nicole, both nurses. So thank you for your service.
Bondi and all of these others are talking about Patel have launched this major investigation in Minnesota to determine, they're focused on this stuff being organized. Well, almost every protest is organized in some way. There's various groups like that get people out, like the No King stuff, with Indivisible. I mean,
so someone asked where the got the cute things, the little dinosaurs and stuff were stickers that my parents found, because my dad goes, ask my mom, he goes, can we make this sign cute for Liam? So they got cute little stickers. And here's my mom with her little brother protesting.
Almost every protest like that, because you want to know, where do we go? Where is this event happening?
Right.
Who's going to be there? What's the messaging? I mean, it is not illegal in the United States to organize a protest and to have a group organize protest. But as far as people being paid, I mean, that's the ridiculous part. They have claimed that protesters have been paid going all the way back to 2020, the BLM stuff, and they have never once ever been able to produce any proof that any of the protesters at any of these various events for many years are being paid.
Okay. On that note, if anyone has, verifiable proof that my parents are being paid, because someone came in my comments and said Chinese billionaires are paying my parents, let me know, because I want some of that money. Okay. Or George Soros or whoever's paying them. Hit me up, joleenreacts@gmail.com. Email me. Because if they're not telling me and they just know Chinese billionaires, I'm going to be pissed. But so far, any protesting I've done here in California or my parents and family have done in Minnesota, no one has offered us $1. Nothing. If anything, it's cost us to protest. And other Americans here in the chat who have ever protested, let me know. Have you ever been paid? Because where do you collect that check? I've never been offered anything.
And as somebody who myself has been to protests, I'm sure you have, I have never been paid. I don't know if you have.
Oh, I got a check for 10 grand from George Soros. Did you not get that?
No.
No, I didn't. It bounced.
It bounced.
I mean, it's funny because I actually, the last one, I actually went around and asked everybody, has anybody been paid?
Yeah.
Have you been paid? And they all just laughed. Of course, nobody's being paid here.
All of the beautiful people in my city, oh, what a view. What a view. Ain't a place on earth quite just like this. If I had a little trouble, would you be there for me?
Oh, out of Minneapolis, I hear your voice singing through the bloody mist. We'll take our stand. and the stranger in our midst. Here in our home, they killed in Rome in the winter of 26. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. Trump's federal thugs beat upon his face and his chest. Then we heard the gunshots, and Alex Pretty lay in the snow dead. Her claim was self-defense, sir. Just don't believe your eyes. It's our blood and bones and these whistles and phones against Miller and Gnome's dirty lies.
And we're here marching in the streets on a cold day to express two sentiments. One, to defend Minneapolis, and two, to arrest the mother-flipping president. I've seen a crowd of people at 6th Avenue today who seem to be filled with solidarity and resistance. And we tried to create a little bit of the world we'd like to one day see in that venue, as opposed to the world that we're seeing on these streets, where state terror is murdering citizens and harassing the country.
So as you can see, there at First Avenue, which is an iconic music venue in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You've seen it featured in Purple Rain. You've probably, heard of First Avenue before. Maybe you've even been to First Avenue before and seen a concert. They have First Avenue, which is like the main bigger venue, and then they have the 7th Street entry, which is the smaller place where you can see bands as well. So as you see, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, they performed. And that was the clip that I just played, where the audience did a lot of the singing. And then they also had Bruce Springsteen come in, and we know Bruce Springsteen just wrote the song Streets of Minneapolis, which I played along with some of that footage. So we have a lot of artists, a lot of musicians that have always spoke up against injustice and fascism and authoritarianism, have come directly to Minnesota to spread their art and to spread the word and to protest on the streets with the people. Now, I will say it's so cold in Minnesota that Tom was calling it 6th Avenue, but you cannot blame him. Okay. It's First Avenue, but that's how cold it is. If you're not used to that kind of cold, you'll be calling it 9th Avenue. Okay. The avenues just start swirling in your brain and you're like, huh? So what a weekend for Minnesota right now to have these artists. I hope they continue to come out there, and I hope they continue to visit any state that this is happening to, where, you know, ICE is coming in and trying to take over and unconstitutionally arresting citizens without judicial warrants, trying to get inside your house and just racially profiling people, and then shooting Americans who are observing or protesting in the streets or in their cars. Okay. So I hope right now I'm at the point where any artist, that doesn't talk about this, I'm not listening to you. I don't care. Too much shit is going on. That's just my personal preference. Like, if you stay silent to this and you act like nothing is going on, who are you? What are you doing? What is going on? I don't want to hear your music. I don't want to buy your shit. I'm not doing it. Like, and don't be vague about it. Like, be specific. Do you agree with this or do you not? Like, I want to know. I want to know, because I want to know where I should focus my attention, my money, my support, all the things. That's just where I'm at, you know? I mean, so there are so many people that are silent to this for fear that they'll lose something. And it's a lot of people that already have so much. So the only thing you're really losing is your integrity by not taking a stance either way. Like, I feel like it's the biggest chicken shit way to just pretend like this isn't happening, because it's only going to get worse. And then when they're knocking on your door, you're going to be like, what happened? Well, you didn't say anything, bitch. Like, what do you think's going to happen? How do you think this works? Eventually it'll trickle down to all of you. Remember Ronald Reagan with the trickle down economics? Well, this is trickle down fascism. Okay, we're going to get our trickle. And the trickle will hit you too. All right, let's keep going.
One day C in that venue.
Also, wait, I got to recognize some of you guys here in the chat. Apologies. Let's see. The Becca Fly, thank you so much for the $4.99. Says, reclaim our country in 2026. Register to vote. Get others to register to vote and vote. 100%. Yes. I might have missed that one. So sorry. Thank you, Wicked Stitches. Says, watching from Maine. All our love to Maine, because we know they got their sights on Maine. So just now that we have like a playbook, exactly what Minnesota's doing, let's just roll with that. Let's keep going. Cammie, thank you for the $4.99. We're old hippies. We used to protesting. Yup. And bra burning. Thanks to you, Nana and Papa, for bringing awareness. Thank you, Cammie. Thank you for being a hippie. Chicken Head, thank you for the $4.99. Says, I want in on that cash. Me too. If they're paying protesters, give me some. Yum, yum, give me some. I should be rich since I started in the 60s, right? You really should be. All right.
As opposed to the world that we're seeing on these streets, where state terror is murdering citizens and harassing the country.
When is it too much? When is it time to overflow? Where's the line, and when are we done dealing with this? Okay? My question to anyone, including the viewers at home, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Because if it's not here, how many more people have to die? 5? 5 of my neighbors have to die? 10? How many of my neighbors have to die before you're out here in these streets? How many? How many of us have to be slain in the street by our government? Like it's some kind of crazy alternate universe. This is not how we were raised. This is not the America we want. How many of our neighbors have to be killed?
This is not paid protesting. Rural areas do not understand. This is real. We came down here to represent, to support what happened, and they ran at us with their vehicles, just pepper spraying us. I mean, it was gagging. This is not paid protesting. Indiana, do you understand? Wisconsin, rural areas, you don't understand. This is real. Nobody's a paid protester. Was the man that lost his life a paid protester? It's asinine. Where are they getting their news?
This is the United States.
And you know she's from Minnesota because that accent. Where are they getting their news? It says asinine. Where are they getting their news? It's okay, Barb. That lady's name is definitely Barb. Shout out to Barb. All our love to Barb. She's like, this is asinine. And that was a big swear for her to use. Okay. Side Gig, thank you so much for the $5. Says, thank you for going live at a decent hour today. I was going to go live last night, and then I was like, you know what? I have to do it at a decent hour, and I have to give you guys more notice. So you're welcome.
America.
Also, shout out to Status Coup. If you guys aren't already, go subscribe to the Status Coup YouTube channel. They are down right there on the ground with the Minnesotans, getting in the protests, interviewing the people, showing you firsthand what's happening, what the ICE agents are doing. So shout out to them, including the Midas Touch, and they collaborate together.
where people are being shot and killed by the federal government, and then the people who stand up to protest against it are accused of being paid agitators. And you just heard from the gentleman just a moment ago asking how many is enough, how many have to die.
Last time we went on strike in Minnesota, it changed the course of American history. The year is 1934, and Minneapolis is a non-union city. This was because a bunch of the biggest companies in the city came together to create the Citizens Alliance to stop unions and basically just not give up more money to workers. If you've heard of Citizens United, you know this naming strategy is still in use by the corporate bigwigs. Anyway, the Minneapolis Teamsters couldn't really get anywhere with this big organization in place, so they said, let's try something new, and called for a general strike on May 16th. The unions formed alliances with the unemployed, and community members set up a headquarters to serve food and provide care. The organizers successfully shut down most of the industrial area, which is now the North Loop in Minneapolis. But the Citizens Alliance refused to make a deal, sending police and private security to attack and beat the strikers. Violence reached a boiling point on July 20th, when Minneapolis police opened fire on unarmed protesters on the corner of 7th Avenue and 3rd Street. 67 workers were shot and 2 were killed, and Minneapolis was outraged. 40,000 attended the funeral of one of the men killed, and later an estimated 100,000 came out to protest. The National Guard was called. The massacre earned international sympathy, and after a series of negotiations and a second strike for warehouse workers, the Citizens Alliance finally gave in. The unions had won. Weekly wages for many workers nearly doubled. And a year later, as the result of the courage workers in Minneapolis and other cities showed, Congress passed the Wagner Act, guaranteeing all Americans the right to unionize. If you're wondering whether striking actually works or what direction our country's headed, the 1930s have a lot of answers. I'll see you out there. Thanks for watching.
So shout out to that guy, Gabe, putting out the information. I mean, this is when you see, you know, these ridiculous claims from Trump that somehow there's voter fraud in Minnesota when Minnesota has been leading the charge of unions, workers' rights, labor rights, the Democratic Farmer Labor Party. That's what they call it, the DFL in Minnesota. I don't know if it's called that in other states, but that's what I always knew it as from my grandpa being a unionized railroad worker, both of my grandparents, or both of my grandpas, I should say, and my dad being a Teamster truck driver. So, you know, people always want to, you know, they want to talk about, why do we protest? Why do they get a job? Well, the reason you're able to be at your job and you have your 40-hour work week is because of people who protest, is because of unions, is because of people who fought for workers' rights so we could get a, you know, Fair Labor Standards Act. The reason you can get vacation, the reason they're not, I mean, 40, I think, is pushing it. But the reason you have weekends, if you do the traditional 9 to 5, even though it's never a 9 to 5, it's like an 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. Come on. So the 40-hour work week is a legacy of labor reform. And people just always want to forget. I remember one year they were protesting near the Minnesota State Fairgrounds, and some people were up in arms like, you're getting in the way of the fair. And I'm like, the only reason that you're able to be at the fair today on a Saturday is because people protest to give you that right to have a day off. Because if these corporations had their way, you would be working to the bone. They would have babies there, fetuses there, zygotes. You and your unborn baby would have to clock in. Let's not forget. I mean, come on. But here we are. Evelyn, thank you so much for the 10s. Says, thank you, Jolene, for speaking up and out. And thank you so much, Karen. Karen Meshling, 3318, gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And congratulations to whoever got a membership, like Cappy. Got a membership here. Thanks to Karen. Put your hearts in the chat for those free memberships from Karen. Thank you so much for the gift. Yeah, Union strong. Arciela, thank you so much for the $1.99. Says, hi, Jolene. We can't normalize this. Yeah. We can't just like pretend this isn't happening and act as though everyone should just, I mean, it's amazing the don't tread on me people. I literally have a neighbor with the don't tread on me sign, and the don't tread on me sign usually follows with the Trump signs are like, now tread on me, daddy. The people that were like, less government are now like, no, more government. Come to my house. Yeah, just comply. Just comply. It is insane. Insane, insane, insane. Yeah, they'd be like, right, be more. They'd be like, get moving, fetus. Those burgers won't flip themselves. There wouldn't be a minimum. There wouldn't be anything without people fighting for it. I wouldn't be able to vote without women's, suffrage and people out there, women out there fighting, protesting. But it's like we've forgotten that along the way. And they just want, and I feel like a lot of it is bots and this like dead internet theory, because so many of these comments, I mean, I know there's some pretty atrocious people out there, but I do believe some of like the dead internet theory and some of the bots and things like that are taking over, just having been a content creator on YouTube long enough. I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense. And if you just look at the way ChatGPT works now, I mean, easily they can create a profile and either way. Okay. I'm not a technological genius over here, but it's not that difficult. But it's amazing the amount of people who are like, just take care of your family and stay home. You can't take care of your family if the world is falling apart, if there aren't jobs, if they can just kidnap you and separate you from your children, if they can take Americans, if they can take your constitutional rights away. You can't just stay home and take care of your family and shut up. Anyone telling you to stay home and shut up is either a bot or a damn cult member idiot at this point. All right, let's keep it going.
Minneapolis to see the situation on the ground for myself. They tear gassed the homie that brought me down there.
They tear gassed us.
I watched them testing a silent sonic weapon called the LRAD on protesters that causes permanent hearing loss, makes you vomit, bleed from the nose.
You're now under arrest.
That shit banned in Germany. I mean, I ain't even got to say what they did in Germany. You know you evil when you doing shit that wouldn't do. That's some SS Gestapo shit. I should watch out or I'll get snatched up for saying that. A Christy Gnome wax museum face having ass.
Can you believe, like, down in the bottom left is how Christy Gnome used to look? She had a total Karen haircut. Like, that's the traditional Karen. No, I'm not. I had a Tegan and Sarah in about 2010, 2011, 2012. I did the Tegan and Sarah. But she has the Karen. And then she found fillers and Botox and hatred and pick me. And now we have whatever this is. Okay. And maybe Ozempic and hair extensions. But I was like, that's Christy Gnome. And you South Dakota people, I'm so sorry. You've been dealing with her for a while. Oh God. Well, I know she kills dogs. And allegedly, I think you guys told me last time, was it a goat? Correct me in the chat. But she's just disgusting. Disgusting. You know who's not disgusting? Tegan and Sarah. Okay, shout out to Tegan and Sarah if you're looking for some good music to listen to. Go to the Teagues, to the Sarah. Yeah, she's got that Mar-a-Lago face. Oh boy. Oh, okay, so goats. It was goats. Oh, just evil. Yuck. Well, word on the curb is she might be on the way out. All right. I mean, that's, there's a lot going on, allegedly. The gossip, the hot goss in the White House, emphasis on the word white, is that they're fighting because her and Homan or whatever the new Greg Bovino is, they don't like each other. And she was trying to throw, I think, Stephen Miller under the bus. It's a whole thing. All these people they all hate each other. They all hate each other and they all shit their pants.
Allegedly.
On the real, this is just white supremacy short-circuiting at the inevitability of its own demise. America will be a majority-minority nation in the next 20, 30 years. You can't...
This is something they have been fearing. The white supremacists have been fearing that it's not going to be long. You're not going to be the majority. And they're terrified of this.
Port your way out of this predicament, buddy. It resembles marketing at the inevitability of its own demise. America will be a majority-minority nation in the next 20, 30 years. You can't deport your way out of this predicament, buddy. It
Lots of beautiful mixed families.
Resembles a phenomenon known as extinction burst, a brief increase in the intensity of a dying behavior, a last-ditch effort of survival. Latinos are 20% of the country. They've increased 250% in the last 40 years. Mexicans are not going to stop having children.
Vic says Mexicans are not going to stop having children.
They can be living in a one-room house, 10 kids, and they want more. You can't compete with that. And on that note, so much of this nation is Mexico. They're indigenous to this land. I was at the Whipple.
They're like, let us reproduce on our original land.
Federal building where ICE is stationed and abducting people.
This individual, this gentleman speaking, is Vic Menza. He is an artist. He creates music, and you can find him on Instagram, where he has over 1 million+ strong, and he is like trying to make his music independently without like the labels and all the in-betweens that take all your money. So he's basically trying to do it the Prince way, and I love that for him. And he went to Minnesota, and while making music, he also is out there fighting for social justice and all the good stuff.
Built on top of historic Fort Snelling, pivotal site in the genocide against the Lakota people. So if you have any misgivings about ICE as a modern-day representative of slave catchers, an extension of Americans' greatest sins, just look at the places they choose, not Disneyland. Democratic Governor Tim Walz brought in the Minnesota National Guard to try to bait and switch the people, playing good cop, bad cop, giving us Dunkin' Donuts. Like we're supposed to believe y'all are on different sides. You just shot up with the LRAD. I watched you. That wasn't ICE. That was Minnesota force. The call is for a nationwide general strike. No work, no school, no shopping. Tomorrow, Friday, January the 30th. Many Black people say this is not their fight. Because Black people have always known fascism in this nation. This is true. And still, Keith Porter. And still, the same corporations that own these ICE detention centers that are raking in billions from them own the prisons where they incarcerate us by the millions. And who benefits from that? The corporations that employ the slave labor of incarcerated Black Americans.
Remember this queen that opened up her restaurant to people that were getting gassed after?
Well said. Well said, sir. Okay. Let's see if I missed any of the, okay, all caught up there, you guys. Now, shout out to this cutie patootie lady. If you're in Minneapolis or, yeah, I think you would have to be there to support her restaurant. She's amazing.
And who benefits?
And, oh, sorry, I had to rewind a little bit, but let me get back to show you. Okay. Here we go.
For restaurant to people that were getting gassed after what happened to Alex.
Okay, so I kind of cut off the beginning, but she opened up her restaurant to, she was right there. Her restaurant is right where Alex Preddy was murdered. And when the protesters and stuff were getting, gassed and all that, she opened up her restaurant for them to come in, get warm, flush their eyes. And she's just such a cutie patootie. And the video that a local reporter, I think she was from KARE 11 News in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, the video of her going in there after being tear gassed and this woman taking care of her went viral. And so now they are doing a little follow-up on this wonderful woman.
Alex Preddy, well, when you look out for community, community looks out for you.
She opened up her restaurant for refuge to me and so many others on Saturday. She's a block away from where Alex Preddy was killed. And during the protest, there was tear gas, chemical spray, and people just needed to get away from the area. On Tuesday, she opened up her restaurant again, and it was busy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being you.
Steph, how you been doing?
Okay. Want to try to come here as often as possible. The tear gas was in front of me, behind me. Somebody was here holding the door open saying, come in, come in, come in. That's why I came back. I've never eaten here before, but I thought I have to come back and at least give them a big tip for allowing us some safety on Saturday.
Yes, I see Tracy. Oh my God, make me like, oh my God, I am like famous, like
You
overnight.
are.
You know, like overnight, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I love this update because the first video kind of made it look like it was just two people, and you can clearly see that her restaurant was basically filled with protesters that she was keeping safe. And we all saw that, right? Auntie got her hair done because she knew that she was going to be on camera.
So
I love her. But I do have an ask. If you are in Minneapolis, please go continue to support Tracy Wong at Meal Kitchen on Nicollet Avenue between 27th and 28th Streets. Because
So I also have all the information here, you guys. Go support Tracy, myyoungkitchen.com. That's MYHUONG kitchen.com. We have the hours here, the telephone number, her address, you know, and make sure people in Minnesota, I'm sure you're already there and supporting her business, but also it's good to like be there during her hours because you never know when ICE is going to, heaven forbid, ICE head over there and harass her for helping people. But it is people like this, it's the community like this that I remember about Minnesota, that I know that this is how Minnesota really is. And most Minnesotans, unless they're, you know, in a cult or something, or brainwashed or bots, know this to be the Minnesota they grew up in, where your neighbors help each other, the local businesses, people look out for each other. And so this was just like a wonderful story that went viral. So shout out to Tracy, all our love, and go give her all of the business. I know the next time I'm in Minnesota, I am going there. Okay. It's simple Vietnamese eats and bubble tea. All those things are delicious.
although Tracy is an American citizen, because of what she did, I just don't want her to get harassed. And the more people who are there with her at all times, the less likely that would happen. And if you'd like to support Tracy, but you're not in Minneapolis, one of these have been set up. You can.
Oh, yay. She has a GoFundMe. I forgot about this. So, yes, if you want to go search Tracy's GoFundMe, you can give to that as well. Tracy Wong.
Find it right here. Otherwise, thank you.
I will find the link for it as well and put it in the description of this video so it's easy for you to find later.
And stay safe.
Minneapolis is fighting back ICE hard and no one's talking about it. Now what the community members have done is they've set up ICE checkpoints. So the community has come together, they put fireplace, they put cones, they put signs, and they basically take shifts within the community. And whenever ICE pulls up, first of all, they all have to stop because they can't just drive through this stop that the community has put, but also they have the time to notify everyone in the community and let them know that ICE is about to pull up. This really reminds me of the North Carolina Mimas who all came together and were blowing whistles and taking shifts within communities just to make sure that ICE is not in their community, and if they do come, they can notify each other. This is so genius because, first of all, you're not actually coming into physical contact with the ICE people, with the feds. You're basically stopped in the middle of the street. They have to stop too. And then you have time to notify everyone in the neighborhood that they're about to come through. Also, the community can take shifts. Everyone can play a role. You can help set up. Maybe you can help sit. Maybe you can help be the notifier. Every single person has a role within this, and it's so community-based. And I'm gonna just need everyone in the US to do this because it is so fire.
Now, I'm going to say this for those of you.
Okay, I love it. So you see the people out there making sure the people who are coming in and destroying an area, killing its citizens, unlawfully harassing them, kidnapping them, arresting them, abusing them, don't get a good night's sleep. So, and why would you? And also the Hilton, gross. Gross Hiltons. Gross, gross, gross. So they had a little concert. More Rage Against the Machine because, I mean, seriously, Rage's music is just as prevalent now as it was in the 90s, which is crazy. It's sad, but I'm glad we have it and it exists, but it's sad that we haven't progressed far enough where that is just like a memory. Oh, remember that? That was a horrible time. Thank God we're not there now. Oh, no, we're still there.
You're despicable.
Yeah, no sleep for agents killing our neighbors. And I love how people are so up in arms about this. You'll see people go, oh my God, there's a noise ordinance. Like noise is more important than the schmurders. But okay.
Now, I'm going to say this for those of you that are in the back, loud and slow, okay? The federal government does not need access to your voter information, okay? The only reason why they are gaining access to your voter information is to manipulate it. Do you hear me? The voter registration, the election offices, and the voter rolls is for the state government, okay? The federal government does not need to know how you vote, where you live, what district you're in, your race. They already have your date of birth and your name. They don't need this information unless they are trying to manipulate votes. The raid on the election office in Fulton County in Georgia is to manipulate votes for 2026 and beyond. They are trying to claim fraud for the election in 2020, which has already been proven to be wrong. Okay? There was no voter fraud in 2020. I'm going to say it again. The federal government does not need access to your voter information. That is handled by the state. The only reason why the federal government would want your voter information is to manipulate it. Okay? Okay.
Man, Minnesota is dope, if only simply for not what we have, but what we don't. It's all fair.
Quick shout out to that wonderful lady who you can follow on Instagram. Again, unfortunately, they were successful in going to get the actual original ballots in Georgia, which is insane, which means they didn't get copies of it. They got the original, which now basically they can do whatever they want with those ballots, and they can create whatever narrative they want that there is some fraud within an election when we know that there wasn't. And yet they're still trying to push this narrative of fraud and distrust within our voting system. I mean, it's insane. So that's something. Remember that Pam Bondi, when she wrote her letter to Minnesota and to Tim Walz, that one of the stipulations for them to pull out ICE out of Minnesota was if they got the Minnesota voter data.
I am not buying it.
It's like, what does that have to do with you allegedly telling us that you're going to go out there and catch undocumented criminals? Remember, it was supposed to be like hardened criminals, the worst of the worst. But now you would forego that to get people's voter data and records and things. And what? It's almost like immigration was never the reason.
But your voter information is to manipulate it. Okay? Okay.
Minnesota.
Okay, so this is a gentleman who went there, a photographer, and you can follow him on Instagram, Joleen Photography, at Joleen Photography, and he went to go take pictures of Minnesotans, and I paired it together with a song from Minnesota's own Atmosphere. And if you don't know about the Atmosphere and you're into the hip hop and you're into rap and all of the things, Atmosphere is wonderful. And from Minnesota, shout out to Slug. I just went to see Atmosphere at the state fair with my brother. And Atmosphere has just a ridiculous catalog of albums and music and have spoken up regarding, injustice and all kinds of things. And so if you're already a fan of Atmosphere, more power to you. But if you're not, and you're looking for some good music to listen to and also support a Minnesota local artist, check out Atmosphere.
Minnesota is dope, if only simply for not what we have, but what we don't. It's all fair. It ain't out there. It's in there. It's in the mirror, behind the breast, under the hair. Follow the dream. Doesn't mean leave the love. Roam if you must, but come home when you've seen enough. I love New York and Cali, but I ain't moving. Too overpopulated, saturated with humans. And I'm not big on rappers, actors, or models. If I had to dip, I'd probably skip to Chicago. None of this is to this. No one, nowhere. Like, damn, I'm from Minnesota, land of the cold air. Too many mosquitoes and a fair share of egos. But like my man Sabi says, that's where my mommy So with the people laugh and giggle when you tell them where you live, say, say. And if you know this is where you want to raise your kids, say, say. If you're from the Midwest, then it doesn't matter where, say, say. If you can drink tap water and breathe the air, say, say.
So part of this, you're probably like, where's the music behind the song? So it took out, when I was editing it, the actual like instrumental and the beats. So it was just vocals, but that last part was like the true part of the song. And the song is called Say Shh, if you're checking it out. And it is basically a love song to Minnesota and a love song to the Midwest and to the flyover states where you might tell people, oh, I'm from here or there, you know, I'm from Indiana, I'm from Ohio, I'm from Chicago, you know, I'm from Illinois, I'm from Iowa. And people are like, okay. It's more of like a love song to those areas, not just Minnesota. And it's Say Shh.
It doesn't matter where, say shh. If you can drink tap water and breathe the air, say oh my God. What do we want? What do we
And
want?
this is from this past Friday.
What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want? What do we want it? If we don't get it, shut it down. I said if we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Like, look at Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it Enough down. Is enough. Shut it look down. At my hands are shaking from adrenaline. Oh, man. Minnesota, still showing up. Still showing up. We've had enough. Enough is enough. Look at the people. For miles. Look at this.
So this is just this past Friday when they had the protest, which I think it hit on a national level. I know a lot of states have been protesting with Minnesota, but I think the actual like, don't buy anything, don't go to work, don't go to school, and kind of like the complete shutdown protest. I think that we had even more people participating nationwide than the first one. And each one has been even more successful than the last in Minnesota. And as you can see, there's even people up in, most people probably know, but those are skyways in the Twin Cities. We have skyways throughout the city because it is so cold. So you can go from building to building and never have to step outside. And if you ever watched any of Diablo Cody's movies, I think the young adult starring Charlize Theron, she lived in like downtown Minneapolis, and she was able to walk to like stores and places through these skyways. So skyways are I used to think they were so cool as a kid. In like downtown St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis, you will find skyways. They might even be in other cities now, but definitely throughout Minneapolis. I worked downtown Minneapolis in my early 30s, and you could take the skyway anywhere, from the building you worked in to go get lunch, to, you know, other buildings you needed to be in, to apartment buildings, to stores. So it's very necessary in somewhere like Minnesota where it's so fucking cold.
Showing up for what is right, over and over and over. You don't think people have stuff to do? Showing up. What is it, -10? Look at this. Goosebumps. Absolute goosebumps.
Good, Kim. Good to hear it.
Stay away from people who care about politics too much. Stay away from people who make politics their entire personality. You know what you should do? Sip your coffee and mind your business like I do.
So much of this makes me mad. Like, I hate people who tune out of things. I hate people who pretend they're better because they do. It's not in my brain to go ad hominem, but the fake fucking Godfather accent and the fact that this man is a cartoon character is really, really making it hard. I'm human. I'm just human. Anyway, I'll do you one better. How about you stay away from people who pretend like they're too evolved to care about things going on around them, or who act like apathy is some sort of intelligence, or who mistake their privilege for wisdom. And to add insult to injury, can people who clearly have more money and star on TV shows shut the up about what reality is supposed to look like? You don't live in the same world that most people do. You sound stupid and out of touch because you are. This is not a wise take. It's a privileged one. It's what you say when your housing is stable, your healthcare is stable, your safety is assumed, and your rights are not being constantly debated or up for question. What a blessing it must be to be so comfortable that you can just tune out when other people's lives are being shaped by politics. Like, what the do you think politics are? Politics are your rent, your food, your healthcare, who's protected, whose rights are being taken. So no, I reject this. Don't stay away from people who care. Stay away from these people who make pretending not to care their entire personality.
God, I love this guy. Seriously, if you're on Instagram, follow him. Pete Souvall. Pete, Souvall. He just gives these rants from the cars and just drops just this common sense. And you're like, hell yeah. Because I don't know who the dude was in the beginning who was like, you drink your coffee. But the comments were eating this dude up. Like, what a privileged dork. What a loser face McGee. To just be there like, just mind your business. It is your business, bitch. All of this is our business. This is all of our businesses. It's our business. When someone said, never trust people who make their whole personality pretending to be like, I'm on Jersey Shore of the Sopranos. With this little accent.
You are not deep, you are privileged and have a superiority complex.
Truth. Thank you, sir. Also, your teeth are very nice. I don't know if you had Invisalign, but your teeth look nice.
I will tell you this, brother.
What?
You know, I will tell you this. You raise your voice, I raise your voice.
If I raise my voice, you'll erase my...
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? You said if I raise my voice, you'll erase my voice?
Erasing somebody because they don't like what they have to say, because they think they're above the law. As the Department of Homeland Security plans on using a prior internment camp for their new base, we are also getting reports of new convoys of ICE agents entering into the city. We are hearing about the fact that communities with mixed status families have had to stay inside during this metro surge, and they are suffering. They are asking for a moratorium on evictions. They need food. The crisis in these communities is increasing, and we see that leaked email that perhaps this may happen until March. Just to keep the focus on who Alex Preddy and Renee Good and countless others who are showing up to protest and show bravery of filming and using those whistles. These are the people. This is just one example. There's so many videos out there, but this is just one example of the cost, the human cost of this metro surge. Take a look at somebody whose family members is being taken by ICE.
Leave him alone! Hey! Get back, get the girl! I was in jail! Get him! Do not shoot him! Do not shoot him! Are you okay?
Señora, ¿cómo se llama? Jenny? ¿Usted conocía al señor que corrió?
Sí, es mi primo.
¿Y su primo? ¿Cómo se llama su primo?
Segundo.
Mainstream media is not doing enough to document the horrors that are happening in Minnesota.
So when they say, why would you be out here? How the
could I not be out here? You know, like my nation is under attack.
As an Army Ranger, 1st Ranger Battalion, did 6 combat deployments to Afghanistan. Pretty bad PTSD. I spent like almost 2 years as an inpatient, a lot of time an outpatient, you know, working on that. I was assaulted and then arrested by ICE the other day out here. And then they couldn't press the charges, of course, because there's video on CNN of them coming at me as I'm backing away from them. So we're at Whipple and they take you in there. It's Homeland Security asking about, like, you're from Philadelphia. Why? We can't comprehend why you would be here. And I'm like, well, because the nation that I was willing to die for is being systematically oppressed with men in military uniforms, a private army told by the president they have no other laws to follow than his, and they're systematically attacking and even killing our neighbors in the United States of America. I can't understand how all my veteran buddies are like still along with this. It's like we took an oath to the Constitution. And that's just being shredded right now. How could so many people swear an oath to something and then fucking Humpty Dumpty orange man is out here and they're like, no, we're going to follow him instead of this oath that we took that we all swore to uphold and defend, like against enemies foreign and domestic. This has all of the signs from every fascist movement in history that we're going to lose the opportunity to resist. So that's why I'm here.
They shot my neighbor in the face this week. That's what I'm out there to prevent. I'm a United States Marine veteran. We were following them from a safe distance.
Following ICE agents.
Yep, following ICE agents. They stopped in the middle of the road and reversed on 62. They tried to ram our car. They tried to get us into a bottleneck. Once I saw a police officer from Mendota Heights, I tried to wave them down and they funneled us straight into ICE's hands. Once in ICE's hands, they broke my window. They yanked me out by my neck. They threw me to the ground. They stomped on me. They pushed my face into the ground. They put the cuffs on as tight as possible to the point where it took 6 agents to try to get them off.
How long ago this happened?
We were taken at about 2:33 p.m.
So within just the last few hours.
But there were people in the cell with us that were taken at 9 a.m. this morning.
In the cell with you?
And they have not been given a phone call. And they left. The intercom system is broken, and they left us there without telling anybody that there was detainees in the hallway. We couldn't use the restroom. We couldn't get water. We couldn't do anything because they left us there.
This was here at the Whipple Federal. So after they beat you, they put you, I assume, into their vehicles. Are they saying anything to you in the ride over here? What happens when you get to Whipple? Walk me through then those intervening hours.
So, well, I'm kind of cheeky. So I sang the Marine Corps anthem the entire ride over here at the top of my lungs. And then they pulled me out of the car again. The tiny man that assaulted me stayed with me and assaulted me some more, shoving my head into the brick wall, kicking my legs out from under me. He wrenched my arm almost when I was in handcuffs, almost over my head.
Sky, this is all so fresh for you still, I know. But have you given any consideration to trying to enact some justice for yourself in this moment, in maybe in the days and weeks to come, like trying to hold some of these agents accountable for what they've done?
I told the agent that assaulted me, I'll be at his Nuremberg trial.
I mean, props to that Marine vet. I mean, this is how they're treating. Isn't this the same group of people who's like, we got to respect our military, we got to respect our veterans, and this is how they're treating them. We've now heard from multiple veterans who are out there fighting against this authoritarianism, against this, unconstitutional siege of cities, and they're beating our military vets. These losers who were never able to be never brave enough to be in the military themselves. Half of them never police officers, just fucking J6 losers who are out here just abusing actual American heroes. Like, that is insane. Be Kind is asking, how do we help Minnesota? At the end, I'm going to be linking a whole bunch of places where if you are outside of Minnesota, you can help, or maybe you're inside of Minnesota, but you're unable to be out there on the front lines with the protesters. There are so many ways in which you can help Minnesota, and the way Minnesota is organizing and all the things that they're putting together is just, again, unfortunately, and also fortunately, a blueprint for all the cities that are next to be invaded by ICE and Trump and all of these nasty, nasty hoes, because that's what they are. Christy and Laura Buffenmeyer, thank you so much. So good to see you ladies in the chat here. Thank you for the 1999s. Just thank you for keeping us informed, sending prayers for your family. We love you all. We love you right back. Right back. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, so let's hear from another guy. And I see that we'll get to that too. Thank you for letting me know. They have now released the names of 2 of the ICE goons who murdered Alex Preddy. And so as soon as we're done with this, I'll pull that up. Oh my goodness.
Supporting this administration,
maybe in the days and weeks to come,
We'll just hear the end of this one more time because I love when she says, I'll be at your Nuremberg trial. And I can't wait. There are days where I'm like, will these people ever be held accountable? But I have to believe that there will be a time that these people will be held accountable. I just have to believe that because I think that's what kind of keeps me going.
trying to hold some of these agents accountable for what they've done.
I told the agent that assaulted me, I'll be at his Nuremberg trial.
if supporting this administration was solely about immigration and inflation, Obama and Clinton would be the conservatives' Lord and Savior, their grand poobah, if you will. Obama deported over 3 million immigrants. Why didn't people protest him when he did it? First of all, they did. Over and over and over and over again. Second, if you're a conservative watching this, ask yourself, why do you love Trump for what he's doing but hate Clinton and Obama who did it better? We'll come back to this in a minute. Now let's...
Mic drop.
Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
Yeah. People are like, no one said anything. And this guy is just killing them all.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Look at Clinton, all right? He deported over 1 million immigrants every single year of his presidency, over 12 million in total. So where's the disconnect? Why does Trump get praised for being wholly inept at the thing conservatives claim to covet so deeply? Simple. It's the violence. It's the hatred. It's the vitriol. It's the very open show of force and abuse of power. This has created a cult following, and I'm sorry to the Republicans watching who firmly believe you're in the right. I completely understand that admitting that you've been duped is one of the hardest things to do as a human being. I've been there before myself. But as you can see from the screenshots that I've collected, and these are not close to the only ones, these are just some of the most disturbing, your friends are openly admitting to their acceptance of the Trump cult. How many people have y'all seen openly comparing Trump to the second coming of Jesus? Because I, for one, have seen far too many to ever feel comfortable living in America as a constitutionalist ever again.
I mean, that's been the scary part since day one with MAGA is the way they have grabbed, as the way the Christian fundamentalists have grabbed on to Trump and put him on some kind of like holy altar and created him as some kind of false prophet when we know this guy is not a Christian, has never claimed until it would work for him in the votes to be a Christian, has never read the Bible clearly. And whenever they ask him questions specifically to his belief system in Christianity, when he pretends to be a Christian, he doesn't know anything. He can't answer the fucking question. So it's like so ridiculous. But some of these people, like it's the way that some of them really thought that Trump was like a disciple of God who came down to help. It was the same. What were the people that, the Pizzagate people and you know who I'm talking about. What is it called again? Where they were like, oh, Hillary Clinton's drinking the adrenaline juice from babies or something. It was those people that really believed that God was sent down or that Trump was sent from God. And I'm like, Trump is the antithesis of anything I learned growing up as a Catholic or a Christian. He's the definite antithesis of Jesus and what Jesus would do. Trump does the exact opposite. He's like the fucking Antichrist. I mean, QAnon, that's what it was. Yeah, the Q people. Remember when they thought Trump was going to save us from the PDF files? Meanwhile, we just got released yesterday or the day before more from the Epstein files, some that they already pulled back because they forgot to redact some, where we find out that Trump is mentioned even more in the Epstein files with disgusting PDF file behavior with 13-year-olds. I mean, So the cues, they were getting there, but they just didn't know that the person they thought was going to be their messiah is actually one of the main culprits in one of the biggest PDF files. So
we don't talk enough about how everything Trump is doing on ICE and immigration is built on easily disproven lies. So let's go back to basics. Let's start with their most popular myth, that illegal immigration hurts our economy. Immigrants, both documented and undocumented, are a net positive to our economy, and it's not even close. Last year, immigrants accounted for 18%, or $2.1 trillion of total U.S. economic output, despite being just 14% of the population. They pay far more in taxes than they receive. They expand the job market. They strengthen the housing market. And they're literally keeping programs like Social Security and Medicare solvent, even though most of them will never benefit from them. Then there's their other favorite myth, that immigrants commit more crime. Immigrants are far less likely to commit crimes than U.S. citizens, including violent crimes. They're 60% less likely to be incarcerated, and crime rates and immigration rates are actually negatively correlated. As immigration goes up, crime goes down. There's a reason there's been a 2,450% increase since Trump took office in the number of people held by ICE with no criminal record. Then there's this one, that immigrants are creating the drug crisis. In 2023, 93% of fentanyl seizures happened at official border crossings or legal checkpoints, and 70% of those seizures were from U.S. citizens. Drugs aren't coming in backpacks on undocumented immigrants. They're coming through legal ports, in cars, driven by Americans. And finally, the myth that immigrants rig our elections. This one is just ridiculous. Out of 1,546 documented cases of voter fraud going back to the 1980s, only 68 cases involved non-citizens, which is less than 0.0001%. Even the Trump administration's own investigation found that out of 50 million registered voters, they referred just 10,000 to DHS. Not votes, registrations, and even those were riddled with errors. We spend a lot of time debating the legality and logistics of Trump's immigration operation, but we don't spend enough time talking about how the entire foundation for it is built on a house of lies. So share this video to help spread the word.
So that guy is he's a lawyer, and I don't know if he was a constitutional lawyer, but Sawyer Hackett is his name. You can follow him on Instagram, on all the socials. I think he's at Sawyer Hackett, and he puts out these videos that are pretty educational.
The legality and logistics of Trump's immigration operation, but we don't spend enough time talking about how the entire foundation for it is built on a house of lies. So share this video to help spread the word.
Please, just don't. Please, my God, my kids are in the house, you guys, please.
Who's in the house?
My kids, my 2 kids, and myself, please. And my son, please.
Step out.
You guys, please, you guys are scaring my kids.
Step out. Bring your kids out with you.
Okay.
Pull your kids now.
I will, please. Will hear my kids. Oh, God, you guys don't do.
I mean, the fact that people are trying to normalize this, that masked men showing up to the homes of Americans, whether it be undocumented or documented or, you know, born and bred Americans, to their home with guns drawn, being like, bring your kids out here. It's fucking gross.
To my kids. My kids. Come on. Oh my God, my kids. My kids are so young. Oh my God. You guys, my kids.
There's just no words. No one deserves this. This is the opposite of how this should be handled.
Come on. Oh my God, you guys are. Oh my God. You guys. Nobody. Oh my God. Why? My son is a citizen. We're citizens. My son is a citizen. We have paperwork. We have all the paperwork.
No, it's not terrorizing.
I have friends that are on legal visas.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not, those people on legal visas, we're not bothering them. But let me ask you this. You hang out at a bar.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not true. The fact that this ICE agent is saying people with legal visas, we're not bothering them, when we've seen multiple, examples, unfortunately, of people with legal visas, people who have to go and get extensive background checks, I believe, like every 18 months Imagine if the average American had to get background checks every 18 months to stay here. They would be deporting all these idiots. Most of these ICE guys wouldn't make it. So the fact that they're like, no, we're going after. No, you told us that you were going to be going after the very violent, undocumented people. The drug kingpins, the rapists, the things like that. And so far, nope. You've just been out here killing Americans, documented people, getting people while they're at work. How are they taking advantage of the system if they're at fucking work? And as you saw one of the guys talk about earlier is the facts. I lived in Arizona for so long, and the rhetoric there was always undocumented workers don't pay in to the system, and they do. Unfortunately, they pay into the system from which they're never going to benefit from. And the statistics are out there for people to find, and they've been screaming it for years, how much they actually put in to the system. And these corporations and the Trumps of the world, they could have gotten rid of undocumented workers or not use document workers for their own businesses, but there's a reason they continue to use them. They don't really care about that. They don't really care about getting undocumented workers out. They use these same workers. So there's just so many things that keep being spread, so much lies and propaganda, when the facts are out there, the statistics are out there, how much undocumented Americans or undocumented people contribute to the system. And it's just, it's like, I just want to be a comedian. I don't want to have to fucking talk. But they keep saying the same thing. Some of these undocumented people are putting more into the system than your fucking loser uncle. I know I got a bunch of loser uncles that aren't putting shit into the system. They're just taking. They are working harder than some of these real Americans, quote unquote. And so the fact that they keep trying to push this lie that, no, we're only going after the bad guys. Really? So far, we haven't seen that.
Everybody's drinking, having a good time. There's local cops outside waiting to catch drunk drivers, right? Are they terrorizing the bar patrons? No, they're doing their job.
So this guy's argument is like, if they're waiting outside of the bar for you, the police, and they're catching drunk drivers, are they? It's just like, ay. And why are all of these guys 5'2"? Even the Marine vet that was like, and then the little guy handcuffed me. Why are they all in the itsy bitsy teeny weeny crew? Why are they all Polly Pockets? I don't understand what's going on. Will the real short kings please stand up? But literally, they are all like 5 foot and under. What's going on? Like, this won't make you taller. Meanwhile, he's just got his freaking bear spray, pepper spray, whatever. He's just randomly spraying it outside his window. Okay. It's like these guys are on a power trip. They get off on this shit. These are the same guys that literally want to hurt people and hate women. We saw that with the Renee Good murder with that asshole who was like, fucking bitch afterwards. They literally think this is Red Dead Redemption. They think they're playing a first-person shooter game. And they're loving it. They're loving this little bit of power that they get. It's just gross.
He's a German immigrant.
You hear them laughing as they hit her with the car. Ah, ha, 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 ha. So funny. Luckily, she's a Minnesotan, and so she knows how to just like slide in the slush. But these idiots are the same idiots that clapped after Alex Preddy was murdered, shot in the back, shot multiple times. They're clapping. Now, this is a clip, shout out to Status Coup, from earlier when ICE was kind of first showing its presence in Minneapolis, in December, and people were recording it. And this is at a local business, and the people standing up immediate. Look at this guy, true Minnesotan. He's got friggin' shorts on. Let me pull down the comments for a minute so you can see. Look at this poor little Yeggies. But you know how many Minnesota dudes I know like this who will roll out if it's not under 0 degrees, like below 0. He might wear his shorts. He might bare his legs. My brother does this sometimes. It's insane. So that's like coming into this area. People are hearty. We are hearty. We're wearing shorts out in the freezing.
He's a who?
Illegal criminal alien.
A criminal alien?
Yes.
So what is the crime?
I don't think there's criminal charges.
What is the crime?
Why would I dispose
That is not your
Why would I dispose of
criminal, if it's, wait, that doesn't make any sense. First of all, if he committed a crime in the state of Minnesota as an adult, that's a public offense. So you all can disclose it. So what is the crime?
So this is what we know from ICE. ICE said they have one person named Juan that they have to detain, and that person is inside Centro Mix. Don Henry has the right to say no to anyone to enter his business. So he went inside to talk to his wife, make sure his staff are in the know what's going on out here. They have not produced a warrant. They asked Don Henry if he was a citizen. They asked him to identify himself. Don Henry showed him his passport. They didn't ask me for my passport, but that's okay. It's called discrimination. So we're gonna stay here, guys. We're gonna just stay put. We gotta make sure that Don Henry needs space and time to think about what's best for him.
So this is a group of people living in the area, in the community, with these, outsider ICE goons coming in, wanting to go into Don Henry's business, a business that he's had in this area. People know him. He's part of the community. He's their neighbor. And they're like, no, you're not just going to run in there, kidnap him, send him off to God knows where. We want to give him time and space, and we're going to protect him because he's a member of our community who runs a business. He's someone that we trust. He's someone that we've grown to love. He's a friend of ours. And this really represents Minnesota as a whole. And to me, that makes me proud to be from Minnesota, to see these people respectfully standing up and being like, no, you're not going to kidnap our neighbor. You're not even telling us the grounds on which you're arresting him. You're coming in masked. You're coming in cuckoo pants. We're seeing that you're just kind of guessing at this point. You're like, where's the brown people? All right, let's go check. Let's go tackle them and take them. Send them to fucking Ecuador, Nicaragua. It doesn't matter. Never been there? Well, make a friend. They're not allowing that to happen. They got no warrants. They got nothing. They don't even know why they're there. And they're like, you don't need to know. No, we need to know. If you're kidnapping our neighbors and you're coming into to businesses and you want to come into people's homes and you're taking children and such, no, we want to know. No, we want to know.
His family and his business, and we're gonna follow Don Henry's lead.
You live on people doing this shit.
Detain one person.
You love it.
Like, doesn't it always?
Is that how the election went?
Doesn't that feel bad?
Everyone,
That's the way it feels.
I think everyone here for sure. This might be a.
Yeah, so go back home.
Do you have a heart? You look like a nice guy. You have a.
This lady's so sweet. She's like, do you have a heart? You look like a nice guy. Like the true Minnesota. Someone says come in illegally and you won't have to worry about it. The problem is you're not paying attention then, because they are going after people who came here legally. And even people who aren't here legally have the right to due process. Not to just be kidnapped, thrown in internment camps, and God forbid sent off to a country they've never been in. So if you're saying that, I feel like you're just trolling at this point, because then you're not paying attention and you're not watching, because we're seeing all too often now that people they are targeting people who are here legally, whether they be on a visa or whatever. They also are targeting actual Americans. So I think you're just trolling. God bless, but come on.
We actually love you. God loves you. So let's be together. Don't do no shooting around me. I can't breathe.
Don't do no shooting around me. I love you. Let's be family. Let's treat each other good. Let's show the media that we care for one another.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for standing down.
So this group of people early on with ICE invading Minnesota was able to talk these guys out of like, hey, why don't you go back and get the necessary things you need? You're not just going to come in and harass our neighbor. Okay. We have rights. He has rights. We're not doing this. So they leave. So this is when whoever Fox News, whatever, tries to tell you what's going on and these people are so awful. No, this is how it started. This kind of Minnesota logic, reasoning, common sense, love one another, Minnesota nice shit. This is how it started. How it has evolved into something so ugly has everything to do with the tactics of the ICE agents and not representative of the people of Minnesota. So it's just so interesting to see, like, hello, this is from, it says February 1st because this is when I uploaded it, but I believe this is from like December. And this is how people started just standing up for their neighbor. And now it has devolved into murder, multiple murders.
Don't bother the people. Love you.
Look at you, just like, I love you. Don't bother the people, like showing this like love to these people. And like, please.
And I'm glad y'all was.
I'll pray for you.
We'll pray for you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
May He give you.
Thank you. Y'all be safe.
May He give you what you need.
And even it's gotten through to some of these agents. They're like, yeah, okay. You be safe. Okay, yeah, you too. See you later. So whoever's escalated this, it's not the good people of Minnesota. It is this administration.
Need more love.
We're not goons. We're not bullies. No matter what people say or do, we have to be ourselves. You.
Jesse Hall from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Les Averman, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Fulton Reed, Stillwater, Minnesota.
Charlie Conway, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Connie Moreau, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Adam Banks, Edina, Minnesota.
Sean McKay, Duluth, Minnesota.
And I'm Gordon Bombay, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Obviously, I had to throw in a Mighty Ducks. Okay, I think that was from Mighty Ducks 2. Is that Mighty Ducks 2, you guys? I think it is, because 2 is when they go to Olympics. 1 is when they stay at home. 3 is when they go to some private high school in Minnesota. So shout out to Mighty Ducks 2. And when the roosters are crowing and the cows are turning circles in the pasture, ducks fly together. And all the Minnesotans, we know about the Mighty Ducks. Okay, that was a big deal for Minnesota.
Banks, Edina, Minnesota.
Sean McKay, Duluth, Minnesota.
And I'm Gordon Bombay, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. This is a song these guys were singing. What the hell am I doing here?
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. This is a song these guys were singing. What the hell am I doing here?
Shame on you.
Listen, have y'all not learned from the past couple of days? Have you not learned?
Learned what? What's our lesson here? What do you want us to learn?
Following federal agents.
People, these guys literally hitting people's phones out of their hands, stealing their property. Fucking dork. Have you not learned? And this is after the murder of Renee Good. They're saying, have you people not learned? She's like, learned what? What are you talking about? And you know that's what he's insinuating. Have you not learned what we can do? What we're capable of? What we're allowed to do? Because President Kankles and the couch fuckers said we can?
Power of the people! The next day, when Bovino's state thugs responded by executing ICU nurse Alex Preddy for defending women from being assaulted, Minnesotans knew that we had to expand our call to shut it down. the Somali and Black student unions at the University of Minnesota took the lead in calling for an extension and expansion of our strike. Everyday people responded by beginning to plan actions, shutdowns, rallies, and marches in solidarity with Minnesota to demand ICE out. That's the power of the people. We now know that Greg Bovino is leaving Minnesota today, along with a large number of his masked men. Bye-bye, Bovino. Say bye-bye.
He is left.
And while we understand this as a victory, we intend to keep pushing until every agent has left our state with his head hanging in shame. We understand that our work isn't done until ICE is abolished and our neighbors are safe. This Friday, we will once again take to the streets and shut down business as usual as we demand that all ICE agents get the out of Minnesota.
Hell yeah.
My name is Doug. I am a veteran of the U.S. Army, and I'm going to tell you a little story about my weekend. It wasn't a good weekend, but my Friday was better, and I can talk a little bit about that too. But over the weekend, I was on my way to get groceries at Marissa's Bakery in Whittier. Shout out to Marissa's. And unfortunately, I made my way after that because I didn't realize it was closed. I made my way to Glandal Donuts on Saturday morning around 8 a.m. And when I got there, I got a donut, I got some coffee, and I unfortunately witnessed the murder. Well, what I perceived to be potentially the murder of Alex Preddy. It was, again, as a military veteran, having been trained in counterinsurgency and detainee operations, it looked extremely, the man, Alex, was not resisting. He was clearly, he had about 6 or 7 agents on top of him. And to me, it seemed clear that this was not justified by any, military doctrine or anything like that. And I continue to be astounded by the amount of resistance that I'm seeing in the streets in the wake of that event. 10,000 people on Sunday coming out in the streets to witness both the site of the murder on the day of, on Saturday night, but also to pay tribute and decide that we're going to fight back on Sunday. And I want to talk a little bit again, because I spoke earlier about it on Sunday, about what I think the solution to the death of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and I think what they would want us to do. We, Minnesota, on Friday, showed up in 100,000 plus people in the streets, and possibly many more, fighting back against this ICE, CBP, Customs and Border Patrol terror. And we showed up. Right? We showed up. We didn't go to work. We didn't go to school. We flexed that power. And that means that we need to continue flexing that power.
Hello, my friends, 10 lies Germans were told, 10 lies that you are being told. I'm coming to you from living in Germany for many, many years. I've written scholarship on this.
I love this lady, you guys. If you're not following her on social media, she is just throwing the lessons out there. She's at MDB Global Mom, at MDB Global Mom on Instagram. And I'm sure if you're still on the TikTok, she's over there. I don't know if she's on YouTube, but hopefully, but I follow her over on Instagram, and she is just giving us lessons, free learning, free knowledge.
I'm coming to you from living in Germany for many, many years. I've written scholarship on this. The election was stolen. Germans were told that democracy had betrayed them, that shadowy forces rigged the system. That lie paved the way for dictatorship. Today, you're told that ballots were fake and voting machines are corrupt, though every single audit disproves it. The purpose is the same, to make you lose faith in your vote. Another lie. Truth tellers are traitors. In the 1930s, here in Germany, journalists were called enemies of the people. Now, Whistleblowers and reporters face smear campaigns or threats. The goal is to stop you from trusting independent verification. Another lie, violence is patriotic. Germans were told that street mobs saved the nation. You're told that January 6 rioters were hostages or peaceful tourists. Both rewrite violence as duty, and don't even get me talking about ICE. Another lie, the leader alone can fix it. Fascist Germany revolved around the myth of one heroic savior, the Führerprinzip. The same cult of personality reemerges when a candidate says, I alone can fix it, suppressing institutions that are meant to balance power. Another lie, enemies lurk among you. Yesterday it was the Jews, the Roma, the dissenters, the intellectuals. Today it's migrants, Muslims, journalists, or political opponents. The tactic hasn't changed. Divide the populace so it never unites against tyranny. Another lie. Information is dangerous. Germany had a ministry of propaganda led by Joseph Goebbels. Now disinformation floods social feeds while leaders called verified data fake news. Controlling perception still matters more than governing reality. Another lie. Scapegoats explain everything. Then it was degenerates and traitors, and now it's stories of Somali fraud and migrant crime, often false or exaggerated. Lies redirect anger from the powerful to the powerless. Another lie, expansion makes us great. The dream of Lebensraum, justified invasion. Today, talk of buying Greenland or manipulating Venezuela masks the same fantasy of imperial entitlement. Another lie, laws don't apply to us. From bypassing constitutions to ignoring subpoenas, authoritarians erode norms one breach at a time. When followers cheer lawlessness, democracy cracks. Another lie, this can't happen here. Germans thought that their culture, their intellect, their institutions were somehow immune. They weren't. No democracy is. Once truth becomes optional and lies become habitual. If you are still listening, remember this. Propaganda depends on disbelief. Not that you believe the lie, but that you stop believing anything. I'll be back.
That is the thing that's the most terrifying, is to make, and we've seen this happening. We've seen this with the fake news propaganda that's been put out, ever since, Trump was first running. Everything was fake. Nothing was real unless it was in his favor. And any critical thought would have you thinking, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But now people literally believe nothing except for what this guy is saying, which is so freaking dangerous. It's crazy. Propaganda is the worst thing ever because it works so fucking well. And the worst people utilize it. And if we, look throughout history, all the proof is right there. Okay, shout out to, this is Prof. If you don't know about Prof, another Minnesota artist, check out Prof. His music is amazing. And he is born and raised Minneapolis, still lives there to this day. And he hit up his social media, which he doesn't normally do, to talk about this because this is literally happening, in his city.
Propaganda depends on disbelief. Not that you believe the lie, but that you stop believing anything. I'll be back.
I was born and raised in Minneapolis. I've lived here my entire life on the south side of Minneapolis, my entire life. I don't be popping in here talking too much about politics because I've never seen anyone change their opinion online. Plus, I think, good, deep conversations are, and communication is best between people, real people, aka our fucking phones are slop, trash, fucking garbage, right? But I wanted to pop in here and talk about my city, Minneapolis. I've read a few comments. I'm trying not to look at too much stuff, but people saying that this city is garbage, trash, dumpster fire, whatever. And I just got to speak on that real quick. I've been a resident here. My family, generations, lived here. But I've also toured the entire country every year for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been to every single major city of the United States over and over and over and over. I am uniquely qualified to talk about the cities in this country. Also, I'm fucking sick of people talking about crime in a major metropolitan area like there's a perfect crime-free spot somewhere on the top of a hill in heaven somewhere. I can easily say that even with all the hard times that this city's been through, Minneapolis is legit top 10 city in the country. People fucking love it here. I love it here. And with how we've learned to band together, I'm sure that there's not any fucking residents in Minneapolis right now that would want to be anywhere else in the world. Number one, Minneapolis has a rich multicultural environment, and we love that shit. We love that shit. Number two, through all these traumatic experiences that Minneapolis has been through, we fucking ride for each other. You understand that? We fucking ride for each other. We band together. We get with our neighbors. We talk to each other. It's like some weird new 2026 frontline shit that's going on in our city. Bitch, if it's Minneapolis against everybody, bitch, it's us. And then lastly, through experience, not through the news, through experience, every single person I know that lives in Minneapolis, every single one of us, through experience, not the news, doesn't fuck with ICE. We do not support that shit. We do not want them here. I am so fucking proud to be from this city. That's it.
I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame.
Is this the first time you've been out to a protest, or have you been out? No.
Ever since Renee Good was murdered, shot in the face by an ICE agent, and then called a fucking bitch right after he shot her, and he released the video because he was proud of it. Disgusting. These people need to be tried for treason. The whole lot of them.
It's too lazy for a soldier, too stupid for a cop. What does that mean?
Oh,
I feel like this is my dad. This is like Professor Papa. Okay, this guy. I love his sign. Too lazy for a soldier, too stupid for a cop. I mean, imagine that. This little Minnesota movie.
These people need to be tried for treason. The whole lot of them.
It's too lazy for a soldier, too stupid for a cop. What does that mean?
Oh, pretty much what it says. You know, they really didn't make the grade for either type, but they want to cosplay, you know, and they're really proud of their uniforms. They really like their uniforms. Nice shoes, you know. Too bad they don't.
He said nice shoes.
Have the training to match.
Oh my God. Get it, sir. As cool as you. I want to be as cool as that dude. All right. And then we got the Dropkick Murphys, which have been doing the damn thing, putting out music, resisting against this administration, talking about what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Abolish ICE. I mean, they're coming door to door, going to people's houses.
I love a Boston accent. This little accent, I got to hear it again.
Really proud of their uniforms. They really like their uniforms. Nice shoes, you know. Too bad they don't have the training to match.
Hell yeah, abolish ICE. I mean, they're coming door to door, going to people's houses, snatching people off the street, taking people who are, you know, taking part in the immigration process the way they're supposed to. How do you show up and snatch someone when they're showing up for their hearing? Like we're not. That just proves we're not trying to establish any, you know, proper, you know, chain of immigration here. We're just trying to basically get, you know, brown people off the street is what I think that they're trying to accomplish. I like to see the thought of a general strike being called for, because I think in the long run that might be the only way out of this mess. And I mean, listen, I mean, if you're talking about workers and the unions, like that's the infrastructure to be this tip of the spear to make the change and put forth the effort that needs to happen to mobilize. I'd like to see even, some kind of scratching my head sometimes when there's not more people at these. I don't know how bad it has to get, but it got pretty damn bad in Minnesota, and that's why they're,
I love he says in Minnesota, Dunkin' Donuts just get pretty bad there in Minnesota. True, sir.
Fighting back the way they are, and it's so inspiring to see community stand together like that. And hopefully, each community doesn't have to face that on their own before we come out in the numbers we need to. I'd like to see one tragedy be enough, to get us all out nationwide, but little by little, one community at a time, I think that, we'll get there.
Oh no!
Okay, the first time I've truly laughed, like this guy, I don't know who this man is, but I started following him immediately. Your pal _Austin. This was like the first time in the past couple of days where I truly wholeheartedly, I showed the video to my husband. I was laughing. Like, I'm so grateful to this guy for making this. I cannot even tell you. As much as I was like trying to laugh, I just wasn't until I saw this guy's video. And I'm going to play it for you guys here. And it's perfection. I wish I would have thought of it. Shout out to you, Sir Austin. All right. So it says how conservatives hoped we'd react to the new Alex Preddy video. I'm going to make myself little. I'm going to make him big because this shit was money. It was so money.
Oh, fuck! I was on the internet saying that masked paramilitary agents from the federal government shouldn't be executing people in broad daylight on camera, but that's before I knew he kicked a car. Fuck me. I didn't know he kicked a car. Yes, I saw the part of the video where they were macing a group of people indiscriminately, and there were children in that group of people, so they were spraying children with mace. And I get that he was upset about that, but you can't kick a car or say the F word. I mean, come on! Fuck! I feel so stupid. Shit! I've wasted my life. Conservatives are always right about everything. Is it bad that thousands of people have gone missing from detention camps with no record? Yes. Does that probably mean that they killed those people? Yeah. Is that bad? Yes. Is it bad that the Trump administration was lawfully ordered to release the full unredacted files that almost certainly prove he is guilty of serial child rape, and that's most likely why he's escalating the use of state-sanctioned violence in Democrat cities to distract from all of that? Yeah, that's bad, but you can't kick a car about it. I'm such a fucking idiot. Everybody knows you can't kick a car. Everybody knows that. I'm gonna join ICE.
I needed that so bad. When that popped in my algorithm, I was so happy. Shout out to your pal Austin. That was so fucking hilarious. You can't kick a car. Like, oh, I loved it. I loved it.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. Love like an ocean. Love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. Hope like a dove. I've got hope like a dove. I've got hope like a dove. I've got hope like a dove in my soul.
So that was just some of the people that were honoring Alex Preddy at his vigil in that Nicollet area of where he was murdered. And yes, Cats on a Couch. That was a video from her Instagram, and also Jolly Good Ginger. Very good people to follow who have made their way to Minnesota. I don't think they're still there, but they were there for quite a while. And we're boots on the ground covering this as kind of independent journalists. Okay, so let's talk about the latest that has come out regarding the goons who murdered Alex Preddy. Okay, so according to Fox 9 KMSP, which is a local affiliate in Minneapolis, thank you for alerting me to this, because I think this news dropped as I was live here. So we're going to take a look. Let me just close this. Okay. So Alex Preddy shooting, federal officers who fired shots identified in records. So this came out at 4:51 Central, so a few hours ago. 2 federal agents involved in the shooting of Alex Preddy in Minneapolis have been identified by ProPublica reports. Border Patrol agents Jesus Ochoa or something, and Customs Border and Protections Officer Raimundo Gutierrez were identified as the shooters. Now, this has been a critique of having Border Patrol represent as ICE. And there's been lots of critique about this because Border Patrol is literally trained for the border. Okay, so sending these guys who are not properly trained to act as ICE agents within the United States outside of their Border Patrol duties is something that a lot of people have been criticizing since they were sent up there, that, you know, these Border Patrol guys just don't have the right training. It's 2 different branches. And so this proving that, you know, what a lot of the people have been saying on why Border Patrol needs to stay as the Border Patrol and ICE agents need better training, and we can't just be flipping and flopping all over the place with these people. The fact that they reacted in such a murderous, reckless, ridiculous, executionary way to Alex Preddy and just shooting an American in the street, in the back, multiple times. I mean, it just the grossest. So these 2, 1 Border Patrol agent and 1 Border Protection officer, I don't know the difference between that. The Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation into the incident, with Homeland Security investigations leading the review. I know that Alex Preddy's family got retained at the time, the same lawyers that the George Floyd family used as well. And I believe Renee Good's family retained those lawyers as well. So 2 federal agents who fired shots in the shooting of Alex Preddy in Minneapolis last weekend have been identified. Government records, according to ProPublica reports. So what we know, citing government records viewed by The journalism nonprofit ProPublica identified Border Patrol agents Jesus Ochoa. I want to know how to pronounce that. I'm going to look it up real quick so I pronounce it correctly. How do you pronounce? Because my big thick tongue is like Ochoa. Okay, let me hear it. Ochoa. Okay. Ochoa. Thank you. God, I love to pronounce things. You don't know how many times I'm like, how do you pronounce this? Ochoa. So Jesus Ochoa, Customs and Border Protection. So that's a Border Patrol agent, Jesus Ochoa, and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez as the federal officers who fired shots during Preddy's deadly shooting last week. Customs and Border Protection informed congressional leaders that 2 agents had fired shots during the confrontation at the intersection of 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on Saturday, January 24th. Big picture view. On Friday, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche confirmed the Department of Justice had opened a civil rights investigation into the shooting. So we now have the names of these 2 monsters. Homeland Security Investigations is leading the review of the shooting with backing from the FBI. Ugh, like we can trust Kash Patel. According to reports, the same FBI that's protecting the Epstein files. Okay, cool. According to reports, as part of the investigation, DHS was probing whether a federal agent accidentally discharged Preddy's weapon, potentially setting the fatal events in motion. So they were wondering if the guy in the gray jacket, the ICE goon in the gray jacket who took Alex Preddy's, the conceal and carry gun that he had holstered, he took it out of the holster if he had accidentally discharged it, which opened up the rest of these idiots to just start shooting their guns because they suck. So it was probing whether a federal agent accidentally discharged Preddy's weapon, potentially setting the fatal events in motion. According to the New York Post report, an agent may have misfired the gun after disarming. Preddy and this unintentional shot allegedly led other officers to believe they were being fired upon, prompting them to fire in response. It's just morons. At the same time, Minnesota authorities have fought to maintain a local review of the shooting. Last week, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said she anticipates having enough evidence to make a charging decision in Preddy's shooting. Preddy's shooting ignited another wave of protests across the Twin Cities in opposition to the ICE surge. In the aftermath of the shooting, President Trump told local leaders who would scale back the federal surge. During a news conference on Thursday, Border Czar Tom Homan, because he's a ho, who was brought into the Twin Cities to take over after the little itty bitty guy, Greg Bavino, operations after Preddy's shooting, said the ICE drawdown was dependent on local cooperation with immigration enforcement efforts. Why publish the agents' names? In context, the article ProPublica editors justified publishing the names of the officers, writing, ProPublica is publishing the names of 2 federal immigration agents involved in the fatal shooting of Minnesota protester Alex Preddy. We believe there are few investigations that deserve more sunlight and public scrutiny than this one, in which 2 masked agents fired 10 shots at Preddy as he lay on the ground after being pepper sprayed, and we saw them hitting him in the head as well. The Department of Justice said it is investigating the incident, but the names of the 2 agents have been withheld from Congress and from state and local law enforcement. The policy of shielding officers' identities, particularly after a public shooting, is a stark departure from standard law enforcement protocols. And it is, because I remember when I was having issues with someone harassing me, people sending things to my home, I had to call the police. Talking to one of the officers, I was like, is there anything I can do? And he was like, it's just like what happens to us. He said, all of our information is out there, whether it be our names, our addresses, for unfortunately, if people want to harass us or contact us, they're able to do that, And after this all went down and they were hiding the names of these agents, I just remember that police officer telling me that it's actually very common for police officers to be quote unquote doxxed because their information is so easy to find and there's really nothing they can do about it because the information's out there, their name's out there, people get a hold of their phone number. And I guess I never even, thought about that until he was telling me. So this is definitely something, the way they were handling it and trying to protect the identities and shielding them is not something they don't give that same luxury to police officers. All their information is public and it's out there. So it's a stark departure from standard law enforcement protocols, according to lawmakers, state attorneys general, and former federal officers. Such secrecy, in our view, deprives the public of the most fundamental tool of accountability. Ain't that the truth? So the names are out there. Now, what'll actually happen to these guys? I mean, who knows at this point? But we have Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez are identified as the federal officers who fired shots during the murder of Alex Peretti, you guys. So it seems like we weren't going to get the names. Now we have the names. So let me jump in the comments and see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Let me catch up with some of the comments that are the worst in these ICE. Isn't it the border people that are the worst? You mean the Border Patrol people be kind? In these as ICE monsters? From people, things that I've watched and people kind of critiquing, commentating on what's going on. I just heard even from lawmakers saying that the training that these, Border Patrol agents have does not suffice, isn't sufficient to then going in and transferring to being ICE agents, if that makes sense. Miss Mojo says criminals. Yes. Nana Ruth, good to see you. Nana Ruth says also have the name of off-duty ICE Brian Palacios, who shot and killed Keith Porter Jr. on New Year's Eve in California. Yes. Brian Palacios. Okay. All right. Yes, agreed. Bovino deserves jail. Lock that bitch up. Lock that little bitch up. Okay, lock that angry little bitch up. Family Shadows podcast says, what's crazy to me, yes, is the do not comply crowd is now saying, if only he complied, right? The don't tread on me bros are like, tread on me, comply. Just stay home, shut up, and comply. Even if you are using your Second Amendment right to carry a firearm lawfully, let them take it and then let them shoot you. And you're like, what? And they're like, well, don't bring a gun to a protest. And you're like, well, you're the same people that are like, if we had more guns, the good guys with guns are going to fight the bad guys with guns. That's what you've been saying for years and years and years. Before even Columbine in 90, I think Columbine was Columbine 99. I was 19 years old. And I've been hearing the same rhetoric from the Second Amendment people. No, you need the good guys with guns to fight the bad guys with guns. You need people with guns. They want to, some of these people want to give teachers guns in schools to fight against school, shooters so that they have guns. They want to arm people, take them to school, take them to the gym, take them to the grocery store, take them to the county fair. They want to be able to carry their guns. But all of a sudden, someone on the left is, using his constitutional right to conceal and carry and has a lawful, is doing it lawfully. And they're like, he shouldn't have done that. He should have got like a babysitter or something. You're like, what? How does that work? It doesn't. That's insane. Yes, I want to know that name too. Nature Nurture says they haven't named the person who took the gun and ran away, the guy in the gray jacket who unholstered Peretti's gun, because we never once saw Peretti reach for his gun, unholster his gun. The only people who did that were the ICE agents who then shot him. And now knowing that they may have had an incident with him a week prior, and now they have all these like facial recognition and all this, like bullshit tracking stuff. It looks even worse now of why they killed him. It almost looks premeditated. Like, oh, we know who this dude is. We've run into him before. And so they seem to be much more trigger happy. That's what it looks like. Yeah, you're supposed to, exactly, Miss Mojo. We're supposed to have this Second Amendment they've been telling us to protect against government tyranny, a tyrannical government. You can't leave the people unarmed. You told us how important this was. And now we see some straight up motherfucking tyranny. And you guys are like, nah, you should probably just leave your gun at home. What? But you love your guns. You wanted to give your guns more rights than you give women. You're like, we can't trust a bitch with their body, but these guns, they need to be out in the world. Okay? They need free admission everywhere. Let the guns breathe. Yes, Shia Skin, so good to see you, but they want to bring them to the fair and the farmers markets. Yes. Also, Shia Skin just talked about your wonderful company in the makeup tutorial I did earlier today and linked it. So you guys definitely go check that out. I put the link in the description. And if you want to stop supporting, you know, these big corporate yuckers that are, you know, paying it forward into fascism, you can support small businesses and women-run businesses like Shia Skin. Okay. Oh my God, Megyn Kelly. We're going to have to talk about her tomorrow. Megyn Kelly, go to hell. Go to hell and you die. All right. Megyn Kelly is the fucking worst. The fact that anyone is even listening to that loser anymore after all of the time she's been like canceled or canceled herself or, you know, cried victim of abuse herself, but then lacks any empathy for anyone else. I can't with that weirdo. There's a reason why she only has 3 real strands of hair on her head, because she's evil. Okay. And they say God loves ugly, but not that kind of ugly. You know, not that black soul ugly. Megyn Kelly is the damn devil. That lady is a plague on all of our houses. She is follow the money. She stands for nothing. She falls for everything. Okay. She fakes the funk. She has no integrity. She has no morals. She's all clickbaity. She just wants to make them dollar bills, y'all. And then also claim to be the victim. She's an idiot. Like, seriously, a fucking idiot. Megyn Kelly is what the patriarchy loves. A dumb bitch they can run shit on. You know what I mean? Who will just be like, whatever. She's an idiot. She is trash. And the response she had, the stark difference, what she had to the murder of Charlie Kirk, to the murder of Alex Peretti, is just all you need to know about this dumb bitch. Like, she's awful. She is awful. She probably be friends. Maybe she is friends with Lauren Mathias. We don't know. We don't know exactly who is Megyn Kelly. She's a nobody, but she's out here trying to get the clicks and the views by saying the most horrendous stuff. She's a bad faith actor. She doesn't believe anything. She believes whatever gives her money, wherever the money is. She follows the money. She doesn't stand for anything. She stands for the paycheck. That's it. She is morally void. She's a shell of a human. She's a human bot. I can't say enough bad things against Megyn Kelly. You suck, Megyn Kelly. Like the worst kind of suck. Like the suckiest piece of suck that ever sucked. She's a grifter and a bad faith actor. She's fucking Alex Jones with smaller tits. That's what she is. Really. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she's encouraging too this situation with, you know, them now arresting, you know, journalists, whether it be independent journalists or Don Lemon, that she's like, that's okay. Like, bitch, you're next. Didn't Fox News already fuck you over? I mean, just seriously, take those ridiculous extensions out. She has the worst extensions too. Like, I can't help this bitch. She sucks. She sucks so bad. She's horrible. She's an immoral opportunist. Yes, Earthly. She really is. Robbie says, Megyn Kelly is awful. Her statements are clickbait money grab. That's it. And that's the most disgusting thing you can be doing right now. And then her performative sadness for Charlie Kirk, you know, and then what it's like, bitch, shut up. And they don't respect you, Megyn. They've proven time and time again, these same people that you're like simping toward, that you're trying to grift toward, that you want to make money. They don't respect you. They don't care about you. They look at you as another bitch they want to take the rights from. They want the man of the household to be voting for the whole household. So Megyn, I mean, it's these same chicks, Erica Kirk, the same way. It's these same women that want to tell women they need to stay home. They need to do this. They need to take care of their husbands. Put their career second. And meanwhile, they're out there doing the opposite. These fake ass Christians. Stop it. Stop it. They arrested some journalists, independent journalists too, in Minnesota. She has been released just like Don Lemon. And she also looks forward to her day in court, as she said. So, what are you saying says, what a creep. Did a great episode about Megyn Kelly. I'll have to watch that. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Now I want to show you guys some ways in which if you can help Minnesota. If you are sitting there wondering, like, how can we help? What can we do? Besides just like paying attention to what they're doing, taking notes, because when it comes, unfortunately, to a city near you, the Minnesota way seems to be the way to go. The resistance there is strong, it's real, and it is working. Even when it feels like, you know, what is going to work, it is working. Okay, so number one, there is the Minnesota Law Center. Okay. The Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, I should say. You can donate to, oops, let me share this link here. Donate to this company here, and they make it very easy. I'm going to drop the link in the description, but I'll also drop it in the live chat. So there it is right there. You can do a one-time donation or a monthly donation. And, let's just click on the main page. I'll tell you what they do is, you know, knowing your rights, encounters with police of immigration and customs enforcement. So about the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, St. Paul office, closed, blah, blah, blah. The Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota is a nonprofit organization that provides free immigration legal representation to low-income immigrants and refugees in Minnesota and North Dakota. Oh, and North Dakota. It provides services based on our capacity. It has a generally high demand for services. Unfortunately, we may not be able to always assist someone. If we cannot assist, you will be referred to another trusted organization on immigration, an immigration attorney. So it also works to educate the community about immigration matters and advocates for public policies which respect universal human rights of immigrants. So all their information is there. It's the ilcm.org. I will again be putting this, all of these links in the description of my video. Okay. Here is another good one. Let me see if this, let me pop that down. Okay, not a citizen says don't use marijuana. But what if I really want to? Okay. All right. So shout out to TC Food Justice. Okay. And you can donate to this wonderful company and food bank. And let me tell you more about them. So food waste is a human injustice when discarded food could have fed a family in need. Food waste is also a serious environmental concern as the single largest component of landfills. Wasted food emits a potential greenhouse gas, methane, into the atmosphere. Methane, blah, 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 boo, 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 what we do. Okay. So they're giving you good information on the food waste, who we are. TC Food Justice is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Minneapolis. Since March 2016, we have been working with co-ops, grocery stores, and farmers market to redistribute their unsalable, is that the word? Foods to local hunger relief organizations. We focus on vegetables, fruits, and nutrient-rich breads because hunger relief organizations often find it challenging to consistently provide fresh food options for their clients. We seek to improve food insecure individuals' access to fresh, nutritious food. So we're not just giving people cans of shit, you know, not just ramen noodles. It's like, let's get people vegetables. And at this time, any Minnesota food drive you can give to, people will be very grateful and thankful because there are communities of people in Minnesota who are afraid to obviously leave their home, go to the store, get groceries. Obviously, if they can't leave their home, they're also, not able to work, things like that. So they do this organization in particular does so much to help the community, to help Minneapolis and feed this community. So I'm going to drop this link in the live chat, but it'll also be in the description of this video if you're looking for it later. You can check that out. Okay. And then I saw that Vox had a whole article regarding this, which I was like, hell yeah, put it in one succinct place where people can go. Because I know I myself feel, at times you feel like utterly helpless if you are far away from this. So Vox.com has posted how to help, these freaking ads, how to help the resistance to ICE in Minnesota and beyond, what Minnesota's immigrant communities need from you now. And this is updated January 29th. So just a couple days ago, they updated this. It says, we're making the story accessible to all readers as a public service. At Vox, our mission is to help everyone access essential information that empowers them. Support our journalism by becoming a member. So you can, support Vox if you want to. But they're going to tell you where to donate and volunteer in Minnesota. If you want to support immigrants and their supporters in Minneapolis specifically, 2 local volunteers have created an extensive repository called Stand with Minnesota, filled with nonprofits, mutual aid networks, and crowdfunding links for specific schools, neighborhoods, and families that need support. So if we click on this here, a lot of the independent journalists that have been down protesting in Minneapolis, whether they're from there or they're visiting from someplace else, they've talked about checking out Stand with Minnesota. Minnesota is under occupation by federal agents from ICE and CBP, and we need your support. Across Minnesota, ICE continues to stop, harass, and detain people regardless, again, of their citizen status. Normal life in Minnesota has been interrupted as schools have been forced to close or go virtual, as people live in fear of leaving their homes or going to work. Minnesotans are organized and activated to respond to this violence, but they need our help. This directory of places to donate to all comes from activists on the ground, plugged into the situation. Everything is vetted, so you don't have to worry, with the exception of individual GoFundMes. Obviously, any individual GoFundMe, you're taking a risk, Not everyone in our networks, and we don't want to pick and choose who is worthy of help. So you could also just go search GoFundMe for people in Minneapolis, similar to Tracy, who we talked about earlier, the restaurant owner in Minneapolis, who has, went viral for allowing the protesters when they were being pepper sprayed and attacked to take refuge in her wonderful restaurant. So if you don't have resources to give, please amplify what you are hearing and seeing about Minnesota across social media. So again, just sharing these kind of things on social media is very important, but also to your networks, friends, and family offline. So they do feature some, GoFundMes, donate to orgs on the front lines, support Pillsbury United Communities, Rapid Response Fund, emergency aid for Cedar Riverside families. So they have all of these links here, and this is standwithminnesota.com, which I think is just one of the best sites that really has it all condensed right there for you. So if you're looking to donate to orgs on the front lines, I click that, and let me just share it here. You can see, okay, here we go. Support frontline organizers demanding justice and shutting down ICE in Minnesota. And they have things you need to know by donating, how you can help. So this website just literally has this in particular. They've raised $1.4+ million of the $2 million that they're looking on this one in particular. And then let's see, the emergency aid for Cedar Riverside, support for critical housing needs. Let me pull this one up here for you guys next. But again, you can find all this with standwithminnesota.com. And if you can't give right now, you can always share it, share it in your stories, share it in your group text, share it anywhere, your social media. So this one is a GoFundMe to support for critical housing needs, and they're looking to get 50,000. They're at 41,939. A devastating pipe burst has caused major flooding in the Echo building in Cedar Riverside, turning what should have been a place to come home to into a crisis overnight. Over 100 families were forced out of their apartments with little warning. Homes were damaged, personal belongings were lost, and many residents are now facing uncertainty. And remember, it is freezing in Minnesota right now. So any kind of, anyone who might have the threat of being unhoused, it's very dangerous. So they have that one there. They have so many. Support the Pillsbury. Did I already click on this one? Okay, let me do this one. So we have so many things, so many ways in which you can help. So yeah, these are very organized. This is the Rapid Response Fund for Pillsbury United Communities. And again, you can do a one-time or you can do a monthly. So it says on Tuesday, January 20th, we began to collect donations of food and provisions at the North Market to add to our other 3 locations that house food pantries and meals. So this would be you helping to feed people in the area. This is one way we are meeting some of the deep need in our community. Another way is the launch of the Rapid Response Fund, designed to help us raise $1.5 million to help 250 families with housing support, utilities, medicine, healthcare needs. This fund can also help with emergency needs as they arise. People are struggling because they fear going to work. As you saw, those guys at Target, they are literal American citizens who were tackled, kidnapped, taken, and then dropped off in front of a Walmart. So people are going to work and being harassed. So people in Minnesota, they're afraid. They're dying. They're getting shot. So this would be as we continue to navigate this tense and scary moment with care and love, we will show up for our community in these ways, because that is what being a loving and caring neighbor looks like, as we always have in our nearly 150 years of being part of our communities. We are here to help ensure radical care, love, and support. You are a vital part of our communities and a needed and vital partner of how we make that happen. Please give today. And then if you want, you can have your little donation show up here. It can either be anonymous or you can have your name show up. And this is that Pillsbury fund. Okay, let me get rid of this. Let's see what else is in this Vox, if it's anything in the Stand with Minnesota. Okay. They have a highlighted GoFundMe, which is a GoFundMe that's already at $2,649. They're looking to raise $4.5K. So they're close. And this is right now we're going through a very difficult situation here in Minnesota. And especially this has affected me and my family a lot. Unfortunately, I have stopped working due to fear, insecurity, fear that something else could happen to me. This situation has affected me with a financial burden. I feel very sad and afraid that this will continue to happen. I ask for my most sincere help. And this is written by Ruby Soto, who organized it. So that's all on the standwithminnesota.com site. Okay, let me see if I can get back to the Vox articles. I think they had some more. All right. So they also have a place, let me pull this back up, in this article for you to look to volunteer. And again, I'll put this all in the description if you're looking later, like, what did she say? That was a lot of information. So the first was the Stand with Minnesota. You can choose from an immigrant serving nonprofit that's over a century old to GoFundMe, to the Immigrant Rapid Response Fund. Let's see, if you live in Minnesota, there are plenty of groups that train, volunteer, legal observers, or need volunteers to help support immigrants who are afraid to leave their homes right now because of ICE. You have a lot of people in Minnesota who are getting groceries for their neighbors, who are afraid to leave their home and dropping those off. Unfortunately, we've had situations where ICE officers have followed them to these homes. But nevertheless, people are still out there doing the Lord's work, feeding their neighbors and making sure that they don't go hungry during this insane time of occupation from these dumb J6 weirdos or Border Patrol, people who shouldn't even be there. Some have stopped going to work, going to school. So they also train volunteers, and they will train you on like constitutional rights. And this is this Monarca right here. And it's the rapid response line. Be an upstander, sign up for training. So they have them in Golden Valley, Minnesota, St. Louis Park. They also have some in Wisconsin, St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, and Cable, Wisconsin. You can go and you can check this out. Let me just drop this as well. Hi, Hella Raid. So good to see you guys. Thank you for coming over. Shout out to Hella, Excited Utterance. We're just sharing ways in which you can help Minnesotans in this very turbulent time. Okay, let me get back here. There's just so many ways in which everyone can help. Again, whether it be food, whether it be GoFundMes, whether it be legal aid, whether it be volunteering. Oh, there's so many. Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid, Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. All of this. I'm going to drop this Vice article again because it has the Stand with Minnesota link and so much more. I'm going to drop that in the chat. So a lot in the live chat, but I'll also put them in the description of this video. Let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you. Sister of the Moon says, all Hella Raid needs to go back and watch this live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hella. So good to see you. Yes. Hit that like on your way in. Thank you for supporting us. Appreciate that. You guys, I need to do a little, some more roasting of I need to do some more Trishas and Laurens this week as well. Yes. Also, food for pets too. There's so much that is being collected that people need your help with. Tracy says, I'm so sorry this is happening. Love and support from Scotland. Thank you, Tracy. Little sweetie, wipe the CD. So there are ways, even if you are outside of Minnesota, if you're outside of the country, that you can help Minnesota in their efforts to resist ICE as they keep doing the damn thing and being the bravest people I knew they would be. So that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today, you guys. But I have put out all of my lives for this week. So make sure you have your notifications on. Go in there and give them a preemptive like if you don't mind. We're going to be revisiting this, obviously, many times because I think this is important. And I know that this is something that, you know, we've seen it in the chat. People come in, they're mad, you know, people are unsubscribing, and that's your prerogative. You know, but to me, this is my channel. This is what I believe is important. This is happening. This is real. We're going to talk about it. We're going to find the funny. We're going to find where we can help. We're going to find the real information. We're going to have these conversations. I don't think that's a novel idea. I think a lot of people are talking about this, and they should be. And I'm glad that they are talking about this. But if you are offended, then deuces, have a good life. Good luck when the Gestapo come to your door. Family, I don't know if I already read this, but thank you. Family Shadows, good to see you. Says Jolene, thank you so much for covering the situation with such compassion and deep knowledge. You're a real one. Oh, that's nice. That was really nice of you to say, because I never feel like I have deep knowledge, but I do compassion. I'll give you compassion. Okay. Yes, people need help. This is reality. All right. It definitely is. So thank you to all of you who were here. Thank you for everyone who's going to now go and check out standwithminnesota.com and ways in which they can help, that we can all help. Shout out to everyone in the live chat, all my new members, all my super chatters today, and just all of you beautiful pumpkin spice babies. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back tomorrow with more. If you haven't already, go check out if you're looking for something a little lighter. You know, because you gotta, you know, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. And you do have to do things that still make you smile, even though sometimes I'm like, for me, it's watching NBA documentaries. I know we each have our own thing, but between top 5, which I've now finished, to now I'm watching the Netflix documentary about the 2024 US Olympic basketball team. I don't know. It's the only thing. And the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that's literally the only thing that's keeping me sane. And you all. So there you go. But we'll be back tomorrow. Comment after the video post. Don't forget to smash that like. Share me with anyone you think would enjoy this type of content, these type of lives, and definitely check out my makeup tutorial. And there's also 2 local, or I should say 1 local California business and 1 local Minnesota business. If you want to support a woman of color run Minnesota makeup business, please go check out lipesteem.com. That's lipesteem.com. And they're not paying me to say this or anything. I've used this product for a long time. Their lip stuff is wonderful. Treat yourself to a small business. They also recently, I believe, became the lip wear for some of the professional cheerleaders. I think for maybe the Vikings cheerleaders, possibly the Timberwolves. So they are just doing the damn thing at lipesteem.com, and they have such good stuff. Also, Shia Skin. Definitely check her out. And I have her linked in my little funny makeup tutorial I posted earlier today if you're looking to treat yourself or someone else. Okay, that's a long Minnesota goodbye. I'll see you guys later. Smash the like, and always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.